Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's 10 o'clock, Wednesday night, February 26th. I see what the watch says. And it is time for the eye test. Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen. We have a show prepared for you. Welcome in. If you'd like to be part of the panel, the address is right down there. StreamYard. Come on in. Want to be part of the chat? Be part of the chat. Type in whatever it is that you would like to say about the subjects being discussed. Is welcome. Might not be agreed upon, but it's welcome. We have some things that we need to discuss about the Atlanta Falcons, the Atlanta Hawks. Combine starting. Interviews with coaching staff, interviews with front office staff took place this week. Some interesting things were said. Some interesting things were not said. We want to know what it is that you think about those things that were said, those things that were not said, and anything that you might have to say based on what these people did say. Oh yeah, we want to hear. Because this is going to be a precursor to the draft, to free agency, toward building the 2025 fiscal year Falcons. Are we going to a 3-4 again? Are we going to go into a 4-3? Will we have an amoeba defense that just fluctuates and changes depending upon the indicated situation? Those are things that we're going to talk about. We're going to discuss tonight. I'm awaiting other members of the panel to come on in, and then once we get them, we will definitely talk it over. We have some news tonight about a couple of things that the NFL is going to change during the regular season. Their proposed changes. Those changes may be good for the game, might not be good for the game. I want to know what you think about that as well. Let me write a couple of those things down so I don't forget what it is that they are talking about doing. Now my ink pen act like it doesn't want to write. Some of this stuff they want to do, the ink pen don't even want to put on paper. Now, to be sure, ladies and gentlemen, it is a time during the off season where you're not actually seeing football. It's a time during the off season where football is behind the scenes preparing itself for the season. They've won the Super Bowl. Pro Bowl selections have been made. Other awards and accolades have been issued out in the NFL honors section. So it's time just to take a look at how business works. It's a time for people to take an honest assessment of their team, an honest assessment of their place in the league. And, once you do that, you can move forward with whatever plans you might have for fiscal year 25, 26. We're in a unique position because of the fact that we have a second-year head coach. We had just went through a little controversy about how our quarterback was feeling. Went through a little controversy trying to see, well, especially us as fans, trying to see who was at fault because people didn't know, according to them. They didn't know the quarterback was hurt. They didn't know that the quarterback was struggling and scuffling. But we, as the fans, we saw it. There was an effort at, during that time to try to act like we didn't see what it was that we saw. And you know good and well that didn't sit well with you. Didn't sit well with me. Because this has been my team since they came to town. I was schooled by John Madden about football. And a lot of you were too. You don't want to admit it. But we were taught. There are certain things that you look out for. There are certain things that you notice. There are things that you pay attention to because some of those things are so egregious. Some of those things are so obvious that you can't overlook them. You just can't overlook some of this stuff. And for people to try to act like you don't see what you see, they peeing down your back and telling you it raining. You know that. And one person that I know knows that has just appeared on the screen with me, Mr. El Jefe Keeley, the administrator.
How you doing, sir?
IBs, like the old folks say, IBs. How are you? How are you?
I have no complaints.
All right, yeah. Well, like the old folks say again, I can't kill nothing and won't nothing die. So, we're gonna try to piece it together best we can.
Yeah, I mean, we're at that point where it's about to speed up in a couple weeks. You got the combine. Well, they started interviews, but then they got the combine workouts coming. I think starting tomorrow, all the workouts.
Yeah.
Then after that is free agency. Then you got the draft, and then you into the off-season workout. So we on our way.
Yeah. And I'm gonna tell you, NFL has done a good job in pumping this little period up. They have done a good job in pumping this little old period right here up. The combines and everything. Them, NFL Network, old Rich Eisen getting out there, being timed with a calendar on the 40-yard dash. It's just painful to see him run in that suit. I've had to run in a suit before.
They do a good job of filling the dead time with just stuff. Yeah. Like the season ended, but they keep stuff going on where you're gonna keep seeing the NFL shield until August till that season comes back in.
Yeah, hey, And the draft really, man, when they have the draft parties and they make a big thing out of it, it's kind of like when the NBA has their they've installed a tournament, but when the NBA goes to a city or whatever, man, they just pumped it all the way up. And coming here in the dark is my partner, Winston Thornton. What's going on, Winston?
What's happening, fellas? How y'all doing?
Everything good on my end.
Come on now.
Yeah,
There you go.
and coming in also.
There you go.
It
They're the trouble starter right there.
Huh?
What's up?
What's going on, bro?
Yeah, chilling, man.
Shit, that's the best.
Now, Ron, they saying you got a professional pot stirrer badge. I don't know what the deal is. I ain't heard nothing, but
I try and be like Keely,
Man, stop.
I tell you.
Nah, you're the pot stirrer.
I touch your notes for the man at the top. So
yeah, whoa. See, innocent bystanders always catch these strays and get whipped up for no reason at all. You're God no, man. Looking at your arm, and next thing you know, you bleeding.
Well, when Ron getting ready to get started, everybody duck. You see it coming. When he get cranked up, hey, everybody duck.
Ain't nobody say.
Ain't nobody say.
Ron, fuck you. You're cool.
I just like to have fun, man.
Yeah, I see.
That's your idea of fun. That's your idea of fun. Oh, geez.
Oh, yeah. Life too short to be mad at each other all the time and stuff,
Yeah, I guess, you're right. And if you can shorten life even shorter, I guess it's fun in that too, I guess. Oh, goodness. Well, oh boy. Something late came in that I found kind of interesting. I know we had a last week. I'm going to go back and take a look at what it was that we were supposed to discuss last week because we didn't get to but one subject. And I think we spent about 5 hours on that one subject.
Mm-hmm.
But it's cool because
I'm trying to think I forgot what they were. It was. I know we did.
I think it was the culture.
Yeah, that's why I'm wearing my In Brotherhood shirt this week. Because of the culture, and then the other one was the All-Star game thing.
Yeah. And
James. Yeah, y'all know it. Y'all know the vibe.
Say what now? Oh.
He ain't say nothing. He ain't say nothing.
Go James.
Sometimes he just be talking, man. He don't be saying
No, I be talking with a purpose. Go James, damn it. Go James. Say it with me now. On 3. 1, 2, 3. Go James.
I can't.
Yeah, all right. We ain't even going down that rabbit hole today, though. Go ahead, John. We'll stay there for later on in the show.
I was gonna say that with you, Winston, but my tongue got in front of my eye tooth and I couldn't see what I was saying. So
it's all right. What I'm gonna do for you, John, I'm gonna teach you sign language. So whenever you get tongue tied, you can go ahead and just sign it out. GOATJAMES. Go James.
Okay, well, you're gonna have to talk to the cue card lady because she done threw all the cue cards down there and walked off. So
Well done.
Oh man. Let me see the next thing that we were supposed to talk about. Well, it's gonna be basically because Keely did send me a message earlier. I would have responded back, but I was out riding.
Even after I sent that, there was some stuff that came down just a couple minutes ago. I forgot what it was. You got the man, Winston,
What?
the new system that they put in, they're getting rid of the chain game.
As it should have been a long time ago.
A long time ago.
Like, let's be honest. Let's be honest about it, man. All right. For the past, 15 years, 20 years, on TV, they already had the imaginary line to gain anyway. And you already have cameras and shit in the pylon at the end zone. So what is the purpose of the chain game? Human accuracy is fallible. So especially on, like, all right, remember in the playoffs with the Josh Allen run on 4th and 1. And some said he made it, some say he didn't. Come on, man. Like, I mean, you'll never get it. You'll never get it 100% correct, but the closest you can get to it, I mean, that can make and break somebody's legacy. That shit is real. It goes beyond just a game. You got people actual legacies on the line off a ref mistake or opinion.
And John, it's gonna take a minute. We got some interesting stuff. Because I'm looking back even at last week list and then this week list. There's some good stuff from this week list. I don't know if it takes a lot of time, but it's some interesting stuff. That first line is the first one that I'm laughing at.
About Steve Smith.
Yeah.
Now, y'all y'all see, I remember last time we discussed something of this nature. Some people just, but hey, man, look, Steve Smith, I stand accused of loving you.
But I forgot who posted it. It might have been Winston who posted it, but Steve Smith responded.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did.
It was me. That post.
Oh,
yeah,
man.
he did.
Oh, man.
And
that's a wild one.
See. You just never know how situations reveal themselves, how they turn out, whether people end up with outline tape in a parking lot, in the foyer of a house, slumped over the wheel in the car. And man, that's some real risky business. And then the way that this came up, and the way that this came out, man, this was just, I read a little bit about it, but if anybody wants to elaborate on exactly what the situation was and the latest on the situation, feel free to do so, because I have limited knowledge on it.
Well, Steve Smith got caught cheating with somebody's wife, and it's ugly now. He got caught, his hands in the cookie jar, what John would say, and his TV career, you might well say that over, because NFL Network don't give nobody a really second chance after something like this come out.
I wouldn't say that his career is over. His broadcast career is over.
I'm in broadcast. You know how when that Michael Irvin stuff came out, they told Michael Irvin, "Hey, you got hit the bricks."
Yeah, but I mean, look at Michael Irvin, his past transaction. I mean, playing football. Like he didn't go into broadcasting with a squeaky clean slate.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's true too.
He already had a history,
Right.
and then then that happened. But I mean, like, I'm gonna be honest with you. What Shada husband did, that was some sucker shit. Point blank period. That was some sucker shit. You found out they got Steve sitting there blowing your wife back out or something. They talking
Oh,
mess and talking about all that other stuff. And instead of you confronting her, you can call him, record it, like you putting him in his place. That's some
but
sucker shit. I'm sorry. You
but
know, look,
me,
Steve Smith has no loyalty to that man. Point
how?
blank period. He's
Wait a
not
minute,
in that
Winston.
marriage.
I glad you brought that up. Even if he know the dude, like let's just say they know each other, and you tell me he don't got no loyalty to that dude, even if he know that dude and his wife.
Now that's the part I'm confused by is did he know that guy? Because the first report said that they were teammates, but I don't think they were teammates. So I don't know what the situation was. To my understanding, the woman was a Raiders cheerleader, maybe.
Of Baltimore.
Yeah, they were saying the Ravens. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
Baltimore band. She
She
something
was
in the
a
band.
Panther. She was a Panther, like not marching band, but like not a cheerleader, but like prep team type shit, right?
Yeah.
But so he been clapping that shit.
So this
He
happened
been
like
clapping it.
this. What 5 years ago?
No, this shit been going on longer than that. Cause they've known each other since he was back in Carolina.
So you mama said what? 15 years?
I mean, they
You
haven't
mom
gave the exact timeline yet,
right?
but they've known each other since he was back in Carolina. And y'all remember he left from Carolina and went to Baltimore for what, like 2 years, 3
Two
years?
2 or 3 years,
Yeah.
right? So
And so now all of a sudden y'all just saw goddamn shaking the cover, shaking the sheet. Hell no. No sir. No sir. No.
I did y'all feeling all of it just messy, all of it. Steve Smith, no better. The dude, if I were him, I would have went to Steve Smith like a man. I would not even call the dude Steve Smith on the phone. I would be like, "Hey, dog, let me meet up somewhere." If we know each other, that's what I'm saying. You to give me that much.
Well, thing is, now for him doing what he did in this particular manner, he was trying to mess Steve Smith's career up.
Oh,
Yeah,
really
that was
messed
his
up,
intention.
y'all.
Yeah,
That all
Huh?
really messed up.
Yeah, yeah.
that was
Well,
definitely the intention.
well,
Right,
that was the intention, the way he did it, because he
right.
shared text messages and all that type of
Everything.
stuff. And thing is that he mad about the affair. Don't want to confront Steve Smith mano a mano because he been probably looking at some of those fights that Steve Smith got into over his career. No, I can't handle it. Tell you what, I'm just gonna mess his career up. I'm just gonna do this too much.
I mean, that we don't know. We
Yeah,
don't know.
I'm presuming. I'm
Right.
presuming
We don't
myself.
know if the
Presuming.
husband was like, "Hey, let me meet up somewhere and let talk man to man." We don't know that.
Yeah, you're right. I
And
don't.
Steve Smith has said, "Nah, they just talk on the phone or whoop de whoop." It was such a move, but who in the wrong here? Is the husband in the wrong? He just found out his wife been having 15, 20 years or whatever or affair.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's definitely Steve Smith. It's
Right.
definitely
So,
Steve Smith. But then again though, since we don't know everything, sometimes folk get pushed out in the street.
right.
Some folk get put, a hand be in the middle of the back and push them right on out in the middle of the street and push them into situations because
But
as what my one of my singers, one of my country singers, might have been I can't think of the name, but he said no one knows what goes on behind closed doors.
right,
And
I
see,
look at
But
Steve Smith. How you gonna tell your kid?
you know what else they said? They say you can't turn the hole into a half pipe.
Right?
yeah,
How
and see, and
how?
once you get behind those closed doors, you know, and see some people when they get in relationships, their nose is so wide open that you can't even breathe around them because they sucking up all the air.
But I
I'm
look at
telling you, and
if
I'm guilty. I'm
if
guilty.
if
I'm guilty of open nose disease. I'm guilty.
if Steve Smith
Everybody
kids
been there,
find out
man.
about this, what he gonna say to his kids? Oh, I've been piping this lady down for like 20 years.
But I
Yeah.
mean, even
Well,
beyond that, like that man, Steve Smith is married.
Yeah,
Right.
And,
that's
That's
the
what I'm
issue.
saying.
like this,
yeah.
this, this,
That's the
this is
issue.
That's
this is
the
where
issue
this
right
this
there.
is where it's sucker shit. I'm gonna tell you exactly where it's sucker shit. All right, what Steve Smith and that man wife did was wrong. I 100% agree with that. That shit was wrong. You don't mess with a married woman. You don't do that. All right,
Right.
bet. But what he did, what her husband did, was I'm hurt. I'm going to hurt him. I'm gonna
Right.
derail everything he got going on. His marriage, his career. I'm gonna throw a monkey wrench into it. That's sucker shit. Hurt people. But at the
Right.
same time, like, bruh, there's no like she broke the vows, not you. You can
But
leave. You can leave and get everything. What the hell are you saying? Like, what? Why would you? Like, do you actually know how bad you made yourself look when you? If anybody ever
but,
said it and actually read the text message
but he
and
wasn't
saw
in
what they
his
were
feelings.
saying,
He wasn't in
man.
his feelings. That's what happened.
But that's the whole thing. That's why you never make it. You never make a lasting decision off emotion.
The-
You
I
cannot
mean,
do it because
he,
it's going to burn you in the long run. Like he in that moment, he felt that he was on top of the world. I'm getting my get back. I'm getting my get back.
some
And then
people,
a couple hours after that, and those text messages went viral, and everybody sitting there talking about, yo, like your girl was sitting there doing this, that, and the third, homie.
right.
Like your best friend sat there and saw those messages. Your best friend saw
I
those.
said it was such a
Hey,
move.
man, you seen what goddamn Mark wife was doing, buddy, man. She was sitting there, he talking about goddamn gagging on junk and all this other stuff. Like she open like that.
I mean, but
Like
hey,
how you show your face in public again?
some dudes, some dudes don't know how to come back from that. They would push a dude to the limit. That
Yeah.
would really push a dude to just get butt wild out here. Yeah, go crazy. How I know I speaking from experience myself. So sometimes you cannot mess with everybody's wife out here. You can't.
You ain't supposed to mess with nobody wife out here.
Right. But I just saying, some of these dudes,
No.
some of
No.
these, some of
But
these husbands out here, they would go crazy. And
what to your point, it's a dangerous game to play.
yes, very
So,
dangerous.
and I'm pretty sure, and I would hope that Steve Smith knew that in playing the game that it's a dangerous game to play. So, um,
Man,
it is what it is. But yeah, to Ron's point, you gotta be careful, bro,
you gotta be careful. That dude that come up
because
on Steve Smith with a gun or whatever.
Yeah, we've seen people die in all of the
Right.
same scenario. Like we lost Trouble out in, you know,
It,
the rapper Trouble. We lost him the exact same way.
right.
He was in bed, but he came in the house.
Pop out.
Yeah,
You gotta be careful. I mean, I just speaking from experience.
Oh
And
yeah, hey,
that,
man. From
that
experience, from news, from various other situations. Cause I would never forget when I was working the overnight shift, and we go to lunch, and there was this particular table. It was me, two other dudes, and this young lady that just used to always sit together and talk about stuff and whatever. And one morning, I was getting ready to leave and go home. A friend of mine from the other side of the building came and grabbed me. John, don't go outside. Don't go outside. Man, I'm ready. I got to go home. I'm sleeping. Man, don't go outside right now. Don't go outside right now. Okay, what's going on? Are you dating so and so and so and so? No, I'm not. I ain't. No, we just sit together at lunch, and it's with two other folks.
right.
So later on, I found out, and I eventually left because I said, man, I ain't gonna be sitting in here. It's time for me to go home. I'm leaving. So I walked past somebody that was out there looking for him. And looking for a tall, light-skinned dude that wore glasses. Now, thing is that there
took
were
your glasses off.
Well,
well, look, they were deep in my pocket. Them suckers was deep in my pocket.
just almost no smoke.
Cause Buddy was standing out there with the blicky out. He was standing out there with the blicky out, and I walked past. And Joe, looking at me all crazy, and I looked at what's going on, man. And I went on to the car, and I happened to know exactly who they were looking for because they were an idol. And I called his friend because I didn't have his number. You need to tell Buddy that he had a care package out there.
See?
Waiting on him, all right, and that he better get his stuff straight. Now, about 3 weeks later, I'm working, and a story came back that something. Oh, wait a minute.
Man,
Since when am I light skin? Compared to the other folk, Red. Nah, at any rate.
Red, stop talking shit. Bring your ass on the show.
all it take is that one. Yeah.
Now, see, about 3 weeks later, I had transferred to the day shift. About 3 weeks later, a story had come back around about it was about 1 o'clock. It was about 2 hours before I got off. That there was some folk chasing folk up 20, and a dude got shot.
See,
right at the high tower exit. And yeah, and they described the pickup truck. Oh, that's my man truck.
See,
he finally found him and put him in the hospital.
See,
did he come out the hospital?
Came, huh?
Did he come out the hospital?
Oh yeah, he made it.
Okay,
he made it. He got out the hospital, but he had put 2 of them in it, and he was driving a little old Toyota pickup truck. And back during that time in the 80s, them things, you may as well have had cardboard. The thing may as well have been built out of cardboard. Because man, them that joker called lead poisoning, because it went through that like it went through that doggone pickup truck like a hot knife through butter.
See,
and wife had to come up there, didn't know anything about the situation, and he had to break down and tell him. He had to break down and tell him because they're trying to find out why this happened to him and everything. And wait a minute, who done jumped on him? Oh, that's James. James done jumped on. What's going on, James? And
The red
yeah,
light district.
yeah, that's him.
I
Oh,
mean,
that guy.
And
That
yeah,
guy.
that dude.
you,
That dude.
I mean, dudes out here, they don't play about their wives. The ones that I know.
Why would it? Like,
I mean,
bruh, my wife, like my old lady,
like my
my
better
old
half.
lady
Oh,
is an extension of me.
right. So,
Period. I don't
the
play
one-
by myself, so I damn sure not gonna play
right.
about her. That's
So,
dead. That's a
the one
game I will not play.
the one
If
I'm
you
saying,
cross her, you disrespect her, whatever, it's up. And I'm taking it through the roof.
right, on and popping. So,
Yeah, like
we, I mean, I
that's why I
seen
said
it.
what he did was sucker shit.
I
What he
mean,
did was sucker shit.
but like I said, Winston, he might have called Steve Smith before that and said, and
I
that,
wouldn't give a damn if y'all grew up together. What you did was sucker shit.
hey,
You go holler at that man to man.
then what I'm saying, maybe Steve Smith told him now, dog. So he was like, okay, I'm finna call Steve Smith on the phone, and it is what it is. I mean, some
Yeah,
dudes do like that. Yeah,
we just don't know. And the end my particular story, he found her and beat her up real bad. I mean, he really put something on her. I mean, it was ridiculous. It was ridiculous. They showed me a couple of the pictures or whatever with her in the hospital or whatever, and then he ran on
Who?
off.
The guy who
And
got cheated on.
yeah, the one.
Oh, he beat the girl up.
Yeah,
Well, yeah,
yeah.
that's some more sucker
His
shit.
wife. His wife.
That's some more sucker shit.
Yeah, his wife.
So
And
hold on. So you will go fight a woman, but you won't go fight the man that will drive
No,
him.
he shot the man.
he shot the man,
Oh, I thought
And
you
and
were
then
he
talking
went,
about
called.
Steve Smith still.
oh
no,
no,
not
I'm
him.
talking about my story.
No,
Oh, carry on. Oh, you talking about dude with the pickup? All right,
Yeah,
carry on. Carry on.
yeah. I'm talking about my story. And she stayed out for a good while. And finally came back. And when he came back, man, all this he had clawed her up and boogered her up bad. I mean, it took a while.
Let me
Yeah,
ask
it
this
took.
question. It may be stupid, but I'm just asking because the 80s just might have been a different time for that situation.
Mhm.
So this guy put 2 shots in the dude and then beat the brakes off his wife.
Mhm.
Did he do much jail time?
Yeah, he did. He
Okay.
did. I think he did about 8 years.
Okay.
He did about 8 years, and
he left.
and I used to always and see. That was when I wasn't no good. I'm way better than what I used to be. Because every time I saw her, I would do just like this.
Mm.
Dig 3 graves. One for you, one for Buddy, and one for him. Because see, as soon as he see y'all, he gonna do both of y'all, then he gonna do it himself. I dig 3 graves. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. I'm just saying. And then, I had to part ways. Look, I had to leave them alone, like 75, leave 85 alone downtown at Brookwood.
It's crazy, man.
And see, my thing is, I'm everybody, in my opinion, has to realize that they can love only to a certain extent. You can't fault that crazy obsessive type of possession type love and all that type of stuff. You can't do that. You can't do
John,
that.
let me ask you this then.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Is that considered true love?
Yes.
Or is it?
Because see what it is, okay, and the reason why I'm saying what I'm saying, you're supposed to.
I'm here to listen. I'm here to learn.
Okay, hey, no problem.
Go ahead. The
In the
mic is yours,
hierarchy of love, you're supposed to love God first, then your family. Loving God, and this is kind of sticking. This is just my philosophy, ladies and gentlemen. I don't want to impose my philosophy on anybody else or anything of that nature. So that's why I'm going to give you this disclaimer. Love of God will have you not get in a situation like Adam and Eve did, because he loved his wife so much that he went ahead and sinned with her, according to the story, because he was the one that told her not to eat from the tree.
True.
He was the one that told her not to eat from the tree because he got it from him. Don't eat the tree. Yeah, he got from him. Don't eat the tree. He told, and the thing is that whenever he dealt with that situation, he went to the man, and he held the man responsible for the situation. So he went to him, told him, "Hey, don't eat of the tree." So he told her, "Don't eat of the tree." Devil comes along, tells her, "Eat of the tree. You'll know good and bad. You won't die. Everything will be straight." She goes and eats. Then tells him, he eats. Now, if he hadn't eaten, everything would have been straight. So that's why I said love of God first, because he can always find you somebody else or make you somebody else.
But everybody don't think like that, John.
Yeah, well, see, that's why I said it's just me. It's
Right.
just me. Yeah.
No, because in the Bible it says it's God first.
Right.
The man is the head of the household.
Oh,
Mhm.
yeah.
Provide, protect.
Right.
The wife, she's the neck. She turned the head.
But
Everything else falls on the children,
right.
then the grandparent.
But a lot of dudes out here that feel like they cannot get nobody else, or they don't want to get nobody else.
I'm gonna tell you,
But that's
most of
on
the
them
time
though.
but half the time it's not even. You got people who have that understanding of Christ,
Right.
but it's a temporary. I won't say temporary insanity, but it's not even. Sometimes it's not even about the love of that woman. It's just the a lot of stuff don't even be about the argument. So when you see, oh man, they got the shooting and this, it don't even be about the argument. It be about disrespect.
Right.
It's that feeling of disrespect. So if people there, you got people who know exactly who God is. They know exactly. They've been in church all their life, but it goes out the window because they feel disrespected.
Yeah, and it's a
and
quick.
they just go crazy. Yeah, and just like that.
Just like that.
But let's be honest. Let's be honest. We all men on this panel, right?
Mm-hmm.
We've all had girlfriend, significant other.
Mm-hmm.
When any of y'all got to the point, and Ron, you're married.
Mm-hmm.
Right? All right.
Yeah.
When any of y'all got to the point of sitting there saying, "This is my old lady.
Mm-hmm.
This is mine.
Mm-hmm.
This is going to be my better half."
Mm-hmm.
At that point, that's just another embodiment of me.
Right.
Period. I don't play about myself, so why would I play about that? And
Right.
she's a female,
Right.
so I'm going extra hard for her.
Right.
That's what, like, a woman that's in a relationship and she got issues with a dude, hey, you know what I'm saying? If you single, tell her, hey, look, holler at me when y'all get that shit figured out.
Right.
If she married, that's off limits. Anyway. Any
Right.
woman that's in a relationship is off limits. Don't set yourself up for it because you don't know who her other half is.
Right.
And
Divine.
her other half may just be a crash out,
Mm-hmm.
maybe a legitimate crash out, and he'll burn your ass and burn her ass too.
Right. At the same damn time. That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying.
Now you
So,
think about it. It's what, 8 billion people in the world? It's 8 billion people in the world. The same way you found her, you can go find somebody else.
mm-hmm.
Because the ratio is in your favor.
Yeah,
Right.
it's more women than there are men.
But
Even if you cull out the ugly, excuse me. Let me go. Shit. Well, I'm going to say this. And in addition, what were you laughing at, Ron? And Red, welcome Red to the table.
I mean, the other ones got to get chopped down too. Somebody got to do it.
Yeah, and see, thing is that well, before I go on that,
I mean, I'm not signing up to do it, but somebody got to do it.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, well, at any rate, let me say that because I've been on missions. Fools go where angels fear to tread.
So, what was your alcohol levels when you went on those missions?
Did it have to be alcohol, Keith?
Did
it have to be? Why is alcohol the default?
Because 9 times out of 10
might have been mushroom. Hell,
9 times out of 10 a dude would crash out on alcohol or drugs or a female.
The only time my vision was that impaired was when I was drinking. I have never smoked and thought somebody ugly was pretty.
See?
Well, I mean, those last minute last call, make your deals.
Right. So
make your deals. But what I was gonna say is, piggybacking off what Winston said. See, the thing is that situations like that, it takes two to tango.
Mm-hmm.
Any other way, it's rape. It is, taking advantage of somebody, something of that nature. Okay, it takes two to tango, and that person, you just supposed to know. You're just supposed to know. It's supposed to be up in here, and especially in here, that these things are off limits. These people are off limits. If you're married, they're off limits. All right. Now, there are some people that won't tell you that they're married.
Mm-hmm.
There are some people that, these nights out for both sides of the spectrum, but they go out and, they have a good time, this, that, and the other, whatever. I wanted to avoid saying it, but, these girls' nights out or ladies' nights out and things of that sort where, you go and, and just like Keely just alluded to, you start drinking that ignorant oil, and next thing you know, you done messed up.
Mm-hmm. You done messed up. Out here is just find one and stay at home.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I mean, yeah, and with the landscape the way that it is, I look at TikTok and I look at Facebook, things of that sort, and the stuff that I'm seeing that people are doing and that they think is all right, it is ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
It is ridiculous. ain't no telling what. Because, you know, I remember going to work early one day, Fulton Industrial and Camp Creek Parkway. 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning, putting some gas in the car so I don't have to stop for no gas when I get ready to go home at 5:30, 6 o'clock that afternoon. And man, the clubs over there are letting out. And all kinds of zoo animals are roaming the street. You got giraffes, you got tigers, lions, bears, you got, I mean, skeezers, scalawags, and skipscops. Like, I mean, it's just like, good grief, man. How did you, you know, and if you are not strong, if you weak in certain areas, you'll fall for some stuff. And you know, that's just the way it is. That's just the way it is. Cause see, there was y'all know about Dudley's over there off of Evansville Road.
I do.
Keita, why you turn and look like that? You heard of the place, right?
Hold on, the Dudleys I remember was off of like Glenwood somewhere. Let me see.
I think they had two.
They had two. One over there off of Latonia, and one over there off of Glenwood.
Right.
Get times.
Hey, now Ron, you know what I'm about to say. You know what I'm about to say. Now, if you go in there with somebody, you got to be strong. You got to be strong. And if they decide to go on off with somebody else, if they decide to go on off with somebody else, let them go. Because they wasn't yours to begin with. You know, you want to go that way, go on. Because see, the people in there, they will try folk. They'll try folk. And you'll end up doggone. And yeah, look at old Red Dudley or Dugan's on Old National too.
See,
Dugan's too. Dugan's over there off of downtown. Dugan's downtown was the same way. Now you bring somebody, man. Joker turned me on to that place, and I really liked the place because I used to know Old T and everybody, and they used to always jug at me because I go up to the bar to order water. I order water quick. That all you gonna drink right now?
All right.
I'm gonna drink right now. And then you know I get me a B-52, and we take shots with B-52s, and that's Kahlua, Grand Marnier, and Bailey's. Not that much. You hit that, man. It's just like drinking that doggone. It's stronger than what is that? Oh man, I done forgot the name of that stuff. But man, I'm talking about it'll bend you over backward. You know, it'll bend you over backward. Okay, now John Brooks, no, he said, did I hear that Landry has requested a trade from the Titans? Anybody heard anything about that?
Yeah. But I would not give them no third round pick for him.
No, I hadn't heard anything about that one.
I mean, he is a good linebacker / DE, in my opinion. I would give them a 7th round pick for him. I would try them. To me, if you take it, okay, you take it. But
yeah.
He will help our defense out big time.
Because now the dude from Cleveland, is standing firm. They ain't letting him go.
But so this is what I don't understand about that. The man said he won't out Myles Garrett. And they said they would not trade him. So you tell me you would have that back in your locker room and the man not happy? he would mess up your locker room.
I don't know if he's gonna mess up the locker room though.
You don't think so?
Mm-mm.
All right, Ron, I want to ask you this. Will he mess up the locker room like Kirk Cousins will mess up ours? Because I just heard yesterday that Kirk Cousins, the Falcons going to keep it as a backup.
I just think they're all smoke right there.
And I don't think Kirk would do anything in the locker room. I think the issue would be Kirk's agent is going to try to create some stuff. But the Landry thing is interesting because of who's projected to go number one.
See, they got the one from Penn State, the pass rush,
and that's why that's going to be interesting because in that you lose leverage if you let Landry walk. But it seems like they already got that. Yeah, because all right, so if you let Landry walk, that means you got to replace him, right?
Right.
And at that point, that means the obvious pick at that point is Carter out of Penn State.
Or do they got somebody else?
So, and that's the thing, and I think what you want to do if that number one spot is up to be traded, you want to give the impression that you don't need anything.
Right.
And it just seems like, well, if they're letting Landry walk, then that gives them the reason to hang on to that number one pick because they got to replace them.
If somebody call Tennessee and say, hey, I'll give you a first, a second, and a third.
Tennessee can't sit there and play the game of.
That's what I'm saying.
We're not in need of players when the average fan can sit there and see how many holes you have in your team.
Right.
Well, what I'm saying is one pick isn't going to fill all those holes.
What they can do is sit there and put the stipulation. Well, not even the stipulation, but pre-frame on or pre-frame everyone on. We already know which way we going. We're going with this player. Y'all just don't know who it is.
Right.
And that makes that pick more valuable. It's the same shit Terry's supposed to do with Kirk. And now he's starting to double down on it. Like, yeah, we cool. We cool with Kirk being on the backup. We ready to move forward. We gonna get it done. This, that, and the third. Woo, woo. He's trying to raise Kirk trade value. Which he should have did a long time ago, but
Kirk,
this ain't time for that.
But the way Tevin Farno and Raheem Morris came out and said a while back, we ain't know that was going to happen.
The point I'm making is that at number one, you're not going to fill all those holes that Tennessee needs to fill. So,
but
it'll be more
like 7 picks. I want to say they got like 7 or 8 picks.
So it'll be more advantageous for them to come off that number one pick. I'm sure, like they've let it be known. Okay, yes, we're interested in coming off that number one pick. I remember reading that like a week or so ago. However, they said it's early in the process.
I wouldn't. I wouldn't come out the number one pick, to be honest, because their biggest hole is the number one position in North American sports.
Quarterback.
It's a quarterback.
Yeah.
I mean, I have the number one pick. I literally have the pick of the litter. Why would I move off of getting a quarterback
if they're not sold on?
You can't. They're not going to be able to solve all their problems this year. Like,
but if they're not sold on a quarterback, then why would you hang on to the number one pick?
True.
But you gotta look at it.
If you're not sold on a quarterback, all right, I understand that. If you're not sold on one of the top two, Cam or Shador, all right, I understand that if you go and trade off the pick. But if you sit there and believe and you see light in one of them two, I'm not moving shit.
But they just got a new head coach.
If anything, I would sit there and take some picks from the back of the draft and push up all my other picks, and just go get immediate impact players. But
I,
if one of them fit the mold of where I'm trying to go, I'm not sitting there. Yeah, I'm not doing that. I'm not
I
moving off. I'm not moving off a quarterback.
I think Carter just
Like
as likely to go number one as Cam is.
I mean,
like, that
to
don't mean
me,
I wouldn't do it. There's
to
no way in
me,
hell I'm sitting there and
it,
move off of quarterback over
it
any position.
to to me, I don't think that head coach who just got over there really like on mayonnaise.
Yeah, I
What they
got
call Real Levis. I
yeah,
don't
I
think
get the sense that they've already given up on him.
right. So it like you got a new head coach, a new GM. Maybe that new head coach want his own quarterback. You
And
see,
that's probably what it is, though. Like,
right,
Yeah, I'm pretty sure,
who,
but you got to have a quarterback you like, though.
right. Maybe.
but I
I
mean,
mean,
like, all right. So, all right, let's look at their roster. All right. So they got what's the boy from the Cowboys, the running back that
they
went over
got
there, that went over there last season.
um
Um, he was the
yeah.
number one
Pollard.
running back for
Pollard.
Dallas
Pollard.
the year
Thank you,
before that.
Pollard.
Who?
Pollard.
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 Pollard, Tony Pollard.
Pollard.
Tony Pollard.
Pollard.
All right. So you got
Yeah.
Tony Pollard. All right. Wait, you said you traded AJ Green.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah, AJ Brown. Then you said him when got Trey Burke. He ain't
Mm-hmm.
been played in like
2 years.
15 games yet.
Right.
All right.
Then you
So
got Kevin Ridley.
and then you got Calvin Ridley. All right, that's cool. But
Then you got the
on top of that,
other wide
who
receiver.
who's going to get Calvin Ridley the ball?
You see, the what I'm
See
saying.
what I'm saying?
Maybe they like Deion Son
No,
or
okay.
they
All right.
like
So
Ken Ward.
let's do hypothetical. All right. They don't like a quarterback in this draft. I'm gonna be honest. Like a quarterback that would sit there and just fit Tennessee as an organization would be Will Howard.
Or it could be
I'm gonna be honest with you.
the
Will Howard
Texas
would actually
quarterback,
like legitimately just slide right in and just fit their
Archie
organization.
Manning's son.
But that
That,
no, Archie ain't coming out this year.
I talk about
Archie
next
coming out
year.
after this year. But no,
See,
if
I
Will
think
Howard
they
come out this year,
I I think they should get a bridge quarterback. If they don't like the quarterbacks in the draft, they to go get a bridge quarterback for 1 year and wait till he come out next year.
true. All right, so now let's go down that rabbit hole. Who are the top tier bridge quarterbacks? You got
You
Jameis
got
Winston. You got Jameis Winston.
mm-hmm.
All right. Now, Aaron Rodgers. Are you labeling him? All right, as fans, we probably would label him as a bridge quarterback at this
Right,
point in his career.
right,
But if you actually look at the numbers, he didn't have a bad season last year.
right.
He had a starting caliber season, which would
So
probably at least give him 2 more years, contract wise, anyway. All right. So now, who are you bridging with? Outside of James Winston, who are you bridging with? Gardner Minshew?
I
He
mean,
just he about to get released.
right. Or they did get Coach Cousins from us. I
Kurt
just
wants to
saying.
go start somewhere. You
The
not
what I'm
you're not
saying.
gonna
He
you're
to
not
be
taking no
the
chance.
star for
No,
1 year.
Kurt wanted to start for like the next 3 years at least. He's not going somewhere to go be a bridge,
Mm,
and you can't trade him because he got to approve the trade because he got a no trade clause
right,
in his contract. So
right.
he got to approve where the hell you going.
Or they did go get what's his name? The one that played for the Colts a couple of years ago.
Flacco.
Yeah, Flacco.
I mean, Rogers is out there as well.
They did get Flacco. Rogers.
I mean, I think it's gonna be interesting because it's gonna be interesting how it shifts out because right now I'm reading that they're saying Cam Ward is still they think is the betting favorite, but to go one. But at the same time, I was listening to Abdul Carter. I mean, his comments today when he was getting interviewed, and he seemed pretty resolute and confident to believe that he can go number one. I don't know if that came, those statements are, what he's saying at the combine, or if he actually had a conversation with the Titans. But he seems pretty confident. It's going to be interesting because you see the Raiders already making a play for Stafford.
Mm-hmm.
And I think what a lot of teams are looking at, they see, all right, this might be a shallow quarterback class. So let me go make a play for Stafford or Russ.
Or Sam Darnold.
Or Sam Darnold. Or or a Rodgers, or, or I'm just hoping that people run out in terms of musical chairs and somebody wants Kirk Cousins, but I know that's a stretch.
You know what? I don't think so. Because if you look at the Browns, Kirk Cousins, old OC over there with the Browns, or if you look at the Jets, he OGM with the Jets now. So those two places.
Yeah, I think it's very feasible that he could end up there. I think Kirk. I'll say this: if he got a concern, if his concern is arm strength, I know he doesn't want to play in Cleveland in an open air stadium over there off the water. I know he would much rather be in the confines of a dome like he was in Minnesota, or in Atlanta.
But it's gonna be cold.
It's gonna be cold in New York and Cleveland.
Yeah, and I think the other part of it is that if I just don't, because of the way the offseason is structured, whereas if the draft was before free agency, I think it's feasible to get Kirk off the books at that point because it's just a game of musical chairs where somebody's gonna get left out without a quarterback, and then you can go. But the fact that free agency, is before the draft, I think the only thing that's gonna end up happening is him getting cut. Like, we're gonna have to.
Like the whole thing with Russell Wilson is not going somewhere to be a British quarterback.
See, I could see Russell Wilson going to the Raiders.
Well, but the thing is, it could be a situation like how it is in Atlanta, where they don't know that he's a British quarterback. It could be the exact same thing how it is in Atlanta, where you go signing thinking you're going to be the guy, and you just don't know that you're a British quarterback. and they draft your replacement right after signing.
You be in the same spot like you was in ATL. So,
I mean, we'll see. I mean, Russ did go to
Pittsburgh
with the understanding that he was technically competing for the job. So, I don't know.
Now let's look at now I'm going to read off the actual picks that the Titans have, and welcome Red to the spot where we can see him now. Titans have number one pick. They got pick 35 in the second round. They got pick 102 in the fourth round, pick 119 in the fourth round. They got pick 142 in the fifth, 168 in the fifth. They got 180 in the sixth, and they got pick 241 in the seventh. Now, what would you, if you can remember all of that? What
they
would
got
you
two
do?
Picks in
first,
the fourth and the fifth.
That's what I'm saying. They just got two picks in which you could probably look to go get a starting player. So you got one in the first, one in the second, and then you don't have another pick till like the fourth round.
Right.
Yeah.
2 fourth round picks, 2 fifth round picks.
So they don't have
and a seventh.
So it's not top heavy. It's bottom heavy.
So, what kind of deal? Okay, would somebody be willing to?
Yeah,
I don't even know if I would want to ask that question.
That's it, John.
I'm looking to trade back if that's the case.
Me too.
Okay,
if I was a Titan, you know what I would do?
I would trade down.
I wouldn't. Why then? I would go get a dual Carter at number 1.
Mm-hmm.
I would package picks, move back into the first round, and go get Will Howard at quarterback.
Okay, now what picks would you package, Winston? If somebody would give you a first round pick? It would be dependent upon the organization and their particular needs, I guess.
Well, Antonio, they need a lot of men.
You're gonna have to come up out them those seconds. They got 2 seconds or 1?
One second.
They got one first, 1 second, and then they don't pick again to the 4th round.
So
you package the 2nd, the 4th, the 5th, and maybe the 2nd from next year, and you can move back into the 1st. The value of the picks got to add up. That's it.
Yeah.
If I'm not sold on a quarterback, I'm coming off that 1, and I'm gonna hold them for ransom, like what's the name did with Chicago and Carolina when they jumped in, sold everything for Bryce.
Right. I mean, they got to come up with some picks. If you trying to get that number 1 spot,
I mean, and it's specifically for the point that Winston just made. They got a lot of holes to fill.
Right.
So
you got
getting Abdul Carter with that 1 first round, that you got 1 spade, you got 1 spade in your hand, and you work to mess out that 1 spade. They got that number 1 pick.
All right. Let me ask everybody on the panel. What are your 3 cornerstone pieces?
Quarterback, corner.
No.
I think the 3 most important pieces on the football field is quarterback, pass rush, and someone to protect your quarterback, left tackle.
Exactly. All right. So if I can go fill 2 of those 3 holes, because I think that their offensive line is all right. So if you go a dual Carter, that 1, and you trade back into the 1st and go get Will Howard, you can fill 2 of the your 3 biggest needs.
But they say
that's a franchise changing draft.
But they said Will Howard going to be going 1 through 14.
But you can package that and get back there. You can get there.
I don't know if you can get back to 13.
13 or 14.
If you willing to put up enough picks, you can get there.
I would say this: you probably have a better shot of you're gonna miss on Abdul Carter by trading back, or maybe not, If the person, it depends. If someone is moving up to go get their quarterback,
a dude's gonna be going in the top 5.
Right.
Okay, how you
hold on? Let me see.
He's gonna be going in the top 5.
The way they've been talking about him this whole off season,
The 4 players that are guaranteed to be going in the top 5 is Cam Ward, Shedeur Sanders, Travis Hunter, Abdul Carter. Now, what order they going?
I don't know about Shedeur Sanders.
They going? Man, Shedeur is going top 5, bro.
So here's the top 5 teams in the draft right now.
He's either number 1 quarterback or he's number 2 quarterback. He's
Tennessee,
not slide out of 5.
Tennessee 1, Cleveland 2, Giants 3, New England 4, Jacksonville 5.
All right, so the top 3 need a quarterback.
Which means Abdul Carter.
You draft him at 1, and you trade back up and go give Will Howard.
If the first three need a quarterback, that means you Abdul Carter may be available after those first three.
No, you draft a duel, get him off the board. Then the other two quarterbacks gonna fall out the gate anyway. Then you
Huh?
trade back up and go get Will Howard.
I mean, but you're
Will
saying
Howard,
trade back up, like that's just that simple.
hey,
For real.
I'm not sitting
When
there saying this. I'm
when
not sitting there.
when the
I'm
only
not sitting
thing
there
Wait a minute,
saying that it's that simple. But I'm sitting there
Keely.
saying that if you actually really want to go trade back up, you can trade back up.
I say,
But
let me
because
It's
I
about
don't
what
know
you
if we
willing
so
to
have
let me
give
ask
up.
enough.
you a
But
question.
now
Let me ask
you
you a
got
question.
two out of your three cornerstone pieces.
If they had more than just two picks in like the top 100, I would agree. But the fact that they only got two picks in the first three rounds, I think that's gonna be tough. And you're
Hey,
taking one of them off the board.
James got a question to ask. I thought I heard James. He woke up. He didn't cut the light on, but he woke up.
Man, I was just listening to y'all. Winston, let me ask you a
Go ahead,
question.
Jay.
Let me ask you a question, Whoa. And good. How y'all doing, fellas?
Good.
We all right. We okay.
Bro, hold
You,
on. James talk like a concerned parent, bro. He's like, hold
Now,
on.
now,
Let me
Johnny,
talk to you for a second.
They
Johnny,
look.
you
They
you know you
genuine
know
down there in
you know
southern
when the
Mississippi.
teacher is
They
talking.
genuine.
You cannot sit
We
there and
are
talk.
family. You
Okay.
know.
I better leave my boy Jones.
I don't want no
it's just,
whooping
it's just,
though. I
it's
don't want him whooping me. Them jokers
He,
don't know
he
when to
literally
stop
talks
with
like a
them
concerned
switches.
parent.
Jane, Jane sounded like the kid. That parent. You know this is gonna hurt me more than it's gonna hurt you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah. Go out and find me something to beat you with.
Yeah, I hate to do this to you. It's gonna hurt me more than it hurt you.
but let me ask you this question: how many
All right,
holes do you think the Tennessee Titans have?
huh? What's that?
How many holes do you think the Tennessee Titans have, Winston?
Too damn many.
Too damn many. So you know that's going to be a 2 to 3 year process, right? So do you
That's
think
why
the
you get your
Titans? So
quarterback at your
so
edge now.
so let me ask you this: you think they're going to be willing to trade next year picks if they only have the first and second pick to
Hold
get
on.
back up in the first?
Let me ask you this, which is a better question. All right. If you don't have a quarterback, how you gonna build your team?
Pretty much a hand any coach that they bring in has a
No,
3 year.
no, 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 no.
Well,
Hold on, hold on.
this is
If
I'm answering your
if
question, Winston. I'm
if
answering your
you
question.
not have a
How you going?
quarterback, how are you going to build your team?
We've been building for like since 2021 without a quarterback. We just got one.
And they ain't,
Uh,
and where have we went? See what
And
I'm
No,
where
we
saying?
on
have they
this.
went? And where have
You
they
answer the
went?
question yourself. Where have we
I'm
went? We ain't did shit. We
But
haven't got to the
they ain't
playoff in the
did.
last 7 years.
But yeah, that's
Answer
true.
the
That's
question
true.
yourself.
That's true too. But what has Tennessee done?
Nothing.
Exactly.
So with that being said at hand, Winston, they may not value the quarterback position in their draft. A lot of analysts, like Keely said, they see this as a weak quarterback draft. So they may hold out to next year and just ride out with Levis and get another early pick. So they may not be willing to trade their next year's pick to get back up into the first round. Look what we tried to do last year.
Mm-hmm.
We tried to get back up in the first round to get a
Yeah,
pass
but we
rush.
wasn't willing to part when when you say it, when you say it like that, you have to understand
But
the
we
entire
had all
context
seven
of the
at that
situation.
time frame. We had all seven rounds.
We was not willing to sit there and trade as many picks as necessary to get there.
So why would Tennessee do the same? Will be
Because
willing to
they don't
trade
have
as
no
many picks as well.
foundation. We have foundation. There's the difference. They don't have a foundation.
They ain't
The
got enough
majority of
bullets
our
either.
offense was already set.
They,
We
They ain't got
needed a
enough
they,
quarterback.
ammunition. They
They
ain't
ain't
got
got
enough
nothing.
ammunition.
You got to look at the past trade when people like the Carolina Chicago trade and what Carolina gave up to get their first overall pick. You got to give up. Tennessee is gonna be looking for something like that, bro. They ain't gonna be looking for no little small pick. They gonna want many of picks and probably a player as well.
Hold on. I literally just said they trade them many of picks. to trade up. You talking about picks on the back end. All right.
Yeah. But I'm just saying though, just to trade that first pick. I'm going over to your other one with the first pick. But let me go back to what you're saying. At hand, big dog. They don't have they are not gonna be able to trade back up in that first round. So with that being said, at hand, they're gonna have to cross what they're gonna have to do is gonna have to cross their toes and their fingers and hope a quarterback that they like come in that second round.
Hold on, watch it. Hey John, look up how much money, how much cap space Tennessee have going into this offseason.
Okay, I'm looking. Me and Keely might beat me.
No, I'm looking at this compensation for the Bears and Panthers deal. With the Bears got in that trade besides DJ Moore. They swapped picks.
They got 3 first rounders, or was it 2?
It was 2.
They swapped picks and got 2 first
one.
rounders and DJ Moore.
Yeah, because they had a pick. They had a pick. That second year pick was the Khalid Williams pick that they got from Carolina.
And that's cool. You gave up 2 first rounders.
So now what?
So big.
Hey, what you want to know?
If I get 2 of my foundation, how much cap space Titans got going into next year? Right now.
Okay, I see $49,787,053. 10th. They ranked 10th.
All right. Now, let's be honest about that. For one, there are going to be players that are going to get cut. So that's more cap space. All right. Then we got what, a $22 to $25 million raise in the salary cap. So they'll roughly be somewhere around like 75 million strong. Remember the last time we had 80 million? What we do? We try to build a defense. They have wiggle room. They got wiggle room. If you're not sold on Cam or Shador, you go get a dual Carter and you go back and go get Will Howard. It's very simple. I'm not gonna sit there and overextend myself for a quarterback. But a pass rusher is a foundational piece.
That's why they're gonna go get that bridge quarterback.
I'm not gonna get a corner. If I goddamn Shador Cam, then Will Howard is more than so. He just won the goddamn national championship. And
I'm doing the Chicago Bears playing. They gave up their number 1 and then the very next year got their quarterback. And they got all the picks that they can continue to fill around him. Okay. Like they literally said, all right, bet we'll take all these picks, fill our holes, and we got our quarterback.
All right, so who's coming out next year?
Archie,
you think Archie Manning coming out?
If he have a good year.
Hold on. Let me ask y'all this. What did Raheem and Terry Fontenot say when they drafted Michael Penix? Huh? Anybody? What did Terry Fontenot and Raheem say?
You were breaking up. You were breaking up. Repeat that again.
What did Terry Fontenot and Raheem Morris said when they drafted Michael Penix?
He are quarterback for the future.
No, they ain't what he said. What he said?
Trust me, I know what I'm doing.
They ain't what he said either. What did he say?
He said a lot of things. I don't know what we put together because he said a lot.
So all right. So the main point of this that they stuck on was this: we're getting our quarterback now because we're not gonna have the opportunity to get him later.
Oh yeah. I remember them saying that.
But Tennessee is picking number 1 for a reason. Like they're a totally different situation than we were.
But
they're literally got the greatest chance to be right back. Like the reason the reason Raheem can make that statement is because he had just signed Kirk, and he was under the assumption that with Kirk we wouldn't be back in this position. They didn't just pay a quarterback that they believed would put them in the playoffs.
Is it Tennessee, the team bad, or the system? They're
The
trying
team,
to grow
they
into
don't have enough talent there.
So
Like,
I don't think they got a
Okay,
system.
hey,
I mean,
now let me.
you got to have a system. They just got a head coach last year
He
for
got no system.
Cincinnati.
Yeah,
He
but it
got
took 3 years to build a process, Ron.
Right. I'll
no
get you.
system, Ron. They have nothing.
Now
Nothing.
I'm gonna USA Today.
I'm telling you, they
USA
got
Today.
no system.
USA Today has quoted
Ron,
a
trust me,
beat writer.
Callahan's system is his dad's system. The offensive line strong.
Like I don't think the Tennessee Titans front office believe that they are going to be in the playoffs this year.
Oh man, we don't
Okay,
know.
now let me read what
I mean, anything can happen. I mean, I could watch, wake up in the morning and watch a pig cook bacon, but like it's just not probable.
It doesn't matter. All right, so even if they don't make the playoffs and they elevate to picking somewhere in the teens next year,
And they'll do it with 2 number ones.
See?
Hold on, you said what? They'll do what?
And they'll be doing it with 2 number ones.
They'll have 2 number 1 picks this year.
If they trade back to forego a quarterback and just trade back, just like Chicago did, they give up the number 1 and they play another year, picking in the top 15. So they'll be picking with multiple first round picks.
Yeah.
And that's the only way they're gonna do it.
Matter of fact, they should.
I don't see
do
it. I don't see it.
If they don't believe in none of these quarterbacks, they should trade. If they don't believe in Cam or Shador, trade back. Abdul Carter, I understand he's a good piece, but like you say, you got a lot of holes. Trade back, get you another number 1 for next year.
I do not see it. I don't see it. But
what you got, John?
Go ahead, John.
I want to see if y'all saw that. At any rate, I'm just gonna read what this man said. Now, he's a beat writer for USA Today, as well as for the Nashville Tennessean. That's their local paper up there. And he's thinking, and I'm just gonna quote what it is, and what it is that he's thinking they're going to do. He said, "It more and more it appears the Tennessee Titans may trade their number 1 pick in an effort to gain additional picks. They cannot afford to move too far back, though, because they still need a quality first-round pick. The Titans likely will draft Heisman Trophy winner Travis Hunter, a cornerback who also played wide receiver for the Colorado Buffaloes. However, if Penn State edge rusher Abdul Carter is still available, the Titans will have a difficult decision to make." Now, this is something noteworthy, what I'm about to read here now. He said, "Tennessee, which must address its offensive line issue, also needs quantity, and having 3 top 100 picks would be ideal." So, Tennessee has some offensive line problems. Would you dare put your new quarterback behind tissue paper?
No.
Nope. Trade back, Tennessee. Now I believe they're gonna trade back after hearing that.
But
that's his impression. Now.
Right. But
well, he got his ear to the organization probably more than
right. But it's hard to pass up a top 5 pass rusher too. They don't grow on trees like that.
Tennessee, they probably feel like they can get a physical guy like Carter anytime because they have a culture of finding those type.
And they got a culture of losing too.
Red, call a spade a spade. We just sat there and thought we could do it for the past 15 years. We only hit goal once, and that was goddamn Beasley.
It's hard to find a
Like,
top
come on,
pass
like,
That was
rush
cool,
like
though.
I don't
that.
think I don't think that's what the Titans think. It's hard for us to find one. It ain't hard for them.
I wouldn't care. It's hard to find them because they do not grow on trees.
None trees.
If you have a
Ain't
chance to
hard.
go
I don't
get
think Tennessee give a
a
damn about
dominant pass
Abdul
rusher,
Carter.
you go get them.
I
Point
don't
blank,
think
period.
Tennessee give a damn about Abdul Carter. I
Man,
just
you
don't.
crazy. You crazy.
They care about him.
All right,
Then
all
they
right, all right. Watch it. What did it do earlier today? Didn't it cut Harold Landry?
okay.
Who was their number one edge?
Yeah.
Okay.
They gave
All
him
right,
permission
they
to
So you
just say
think
trade.
they're gonna take Abdul Carter? You think they're gonna
they
take
didn't do
Abdul
that for
Carter
shit
number
and
one?
giggle, man.
No
They
questions
ju-
asked.
Wait, but you gotta look at it.
All right, why?
They
I'm
got
asking,
to
do you
replace.
think they're gonna take Abdul Carter right now?
Why-
No questions asked.
Watch what I
You think
tell
they're
you.
gonna take Abdul Carter number one?
They
Yes.
got to replace
Yes.
Landry.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Okay. Well, you don't want. Okay. Well, if you
a
think that,
thousand times.
if
yes,
you think
Abdul
that,
Carter
what are
is
you
gonna
talking
be the
about all
number
this
one
trade
pick.
back
Watch
for
what I
then?
tell you.
If you think
Huh?
they take an Abdul Carter, why even bring up this scenario about them trading back? If you think they're gonna take,
I
Abdul
didn't bring
Carter?
up no damn trade back shit. I said trade back into the first.
and get them a
You ain't gonna be
quarterback.
I
able to
said
trade.
trade
If you
back
take
into the
Abdul
first.
Carter, you can forget about trading back into the first.
Are you
I can
crazy?
tell you that right now.
You crazy. If you wouldn't have put the picks up, you can get it.
You're gonna need more than a second and a fourth.
I ain't say a second and four.
And it's
That's
gonna be a
what
next
you
year
got
first.
left.
Yeah, he was.
If they
Winston
draft
said
Abdul
something
Carter,
out of the
they're not
next
gonna
year
get. They're
too.
not gonna get. They're not gonna get their quarterback.
Yeah,
yet.
that not for no Will Howard. I'm not.
All right,
Not
hold
for to
on,
trade a
hold on,
future
watch it,
draft
watch it,
pick
watch
for
it.
Will
Will Howard.
Howard,
Hold
man.
on, 'cause I'm gonna go off of y'all logic. Y'all literally just said I wouldn't put a quarterback behind a bad offensive line like they have. So why would you sit there and go draft a quarterback?
I never
Number
said
one
they should draft
overall.
a
Come on,
quarterback.
it don't make sense.
I never said they should draft a quarterback number one overall. I said they should trade back just like Chicago
Right.
did.
That's what I said.
And
Trade back.
I promise you this much: if they get a call from somebody who's interested in going to get Cam Ward, they are not fit to damn hang on to that spot for Abdul Carter.
No,
That's what
you
I
got.
said. They don't
No,
give a
you
damn
got.
about no Abdul Carter.
Wait a minute. You gotta look at it. Seattle might want a quarterback now because
They talking about extending Geno. They ain't looking for no
I've
quarterback.
had
If-
other
They
if-
talking
reasons.
about
If
extending.
Tennessee gets one of them calls that San Francisco got from Miami, they are not fit to hang on to that spot for Abdul Carter.
Bye Abdul, who they
Bro,
don't care about.
If they get one of them calls, just like San Francisco got, I mean that what's the name got from Miami, that Miami San Francisco trade. They get one of them calls. They are not.
Carolina. If they get a call from Chicago like Carolina, or like Carolina calls Chicago, they're gonna make. I'm telling you, they ain't
They
thinking
gonna
about
pull
Abdul
the
Carter.
trigger.
They
They
gonna pull that.
gonna pull that trigger.
Listen, if anybody they got, I think Travis Hunter they got more than Abdul Carter.
Let
Personally,
me ask y'all a question real quick. All right, since y'all willing and dealing and all that stuff. All right,
If willing and dealing, like using the fourth and second to get back in the first, yeah, they're willing and dealing.
no, willing and dealing. Like y'all sitting there
it
talking.
ain't gonna,
All right.
it ain't gonna get them in
Now,
the first.
hold on. Hold on. In recent history, for teams that decided to trade up to get the number one pick for a quarterback, how does that turn out for them?
What is that the Tennessee problem? We don't. They're getting. If you're the Tennessee Titans, you're getting the picks. How do we care? Why would they care how it turn out?
Will you ask us some logical questions, please?
Y'all only seeing one side of it. Y'all seeing like, all right, I have this. Let me get the best value for it. All right. On the other side of it is, hey, I got shit I need to do for my organization. And this shit haven't worked out for the last couple of times. Trey Lance, goddamn, hell, Bryce Young's starting to find his stride, but that's still in the air.
But now
that's still in the air.
So them two aren't the first instances in which a trade up didn't work out.
I didn't say the first. I said recent history.
Don't go beyond it. I said recent history.
No, I am making a point. I'm not saying that you said that. I didn't put any words in your mouth. I said that those aren't the first instances in which trading up hasn't worked out, but yet teams have continually kept doing it. So even though teams have seen in the past that it didn't work out, teams kept doing it because that's the point. So seeing recent history didn't work out, it didn't deter teams in the past.
I do not see that happening this year. That's my stand. That's where I'm at. Maybe they will, but I don't.
Well,
where
you at and where we at are two different things. It's cool.
And yeah,
all right,
we all can agree to disagree.
Okay, so we are at impasse. We're at impasse on that one.
It just really, and I'm gonna leave it alone after that. It just really depends what they do in the off season as far as what they get, if they get their needs in free agency. If they don't feel like if they don't feel like
five Terry Fontenot's on the panel, man. What see how Antonio is. Sit back there all in the weed.
You see folks.
Sitting all in the doggone weeds, just boop, 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 boop.
Hey, let's talk about this. Why is it when we get in the midst of the goddamn conversation, Ron has always disappeared? What the hell going on with that?
No.
Hey, James.
See, I bring him back all the time. I be bringing him back.
It's getting too dramatic for him, Winston.
So
I think Ron just got some internet issues. Whatever.
I won't even.
Ron like a 2-for-1 sale. Here for a limited time only.
So James, I want to follow up on what you were talking about in terms of free agency, right?
Yeah.
So they gave Landry permission to talk, right?
Yeah.
So let's just say they go after somebody.
Yeah, that what it was, Keelan. Landry didn't seek a trade. It was the Titans that told Landry you can go get a trade. He didn't seek one.
So hypothetically, let's say they gave Landry permission to seek a trade, and then in free agency, like you talked about, they go and get somebody like a Milton Williams or a Josh Sweat. Do you think if they land one of those two in free agency, do they still take Abdul Carter?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. Because for the simple fact is
he's young
and he can learn from Josh Sweat, and he can still learn from technically Jeffrey Simmons, because Jeffrey Simmons is a good pass rusher at D tackle as well. So yeah, they'll still.
I mean, let me rephrase this.
If they go that way, now we'll know they building strict.
If they sign
them, they're not hanging on to that. If they sign them, I think that's an insurance policy against that number one pick. So if they go get pass rush in free agency, that's an insurance policy that, hey, if we do trade away this pick, we still replace Landry. We still have an insurance policy on the pass.
Right, yeah, that's basically what it becomes to at that point, if they feel the needs that there are the holes. Because like Winston said, it may rise up to between they get $60 to $7 million. So they have some leeway to sign the position that they need, including a bridge quarterback, so they can hold out the next year.
What are they other holes? Does anybody know?
It's gonna be
the entire team.
It's not their entire team. It's not their entire team, really. It's just really the offensive line, quarterback. Offensive line, quarterback,
safety, linebacker.
Winston, what you
say? They just got the corner from
they got Snead and a Woozy. They snatched him from the Bengals.
Hey Winston, who are they offensive playmakers, Winston? The Titans.
Probably
Tony Pollard. He looked like shit last year.
Really? The offensive line was trash.
They need a number one receiver, a number two receiver. Well, no, they got Ridley. They need a number two receiver, a number three receiver.
Yeah.
They need help on the line.
Really
they need a quarterback.
Now let me ask you this, Winston.
Sages.
Hey, let me ask you this. Would you consider taking Janty? the running back from Boise State. If
The
you
number
Titans,
one,
'cause I
hell no.
know damn well they don't want Pollard ass.
Hell no.
Yeah, they
I
got
put
Pollard
that
for a
at number
4-year
one.
deal.
Now,
They got no
if
choice.
Man,
if I traded
Pollard
back,
ass ain't taking you nowhere.
if I traded back somewhere between like 7 and 12, yeah, I'll take Gender. I'll take him. Unless Carter's still
Yeah.
sitting there. But at number one, hell
Okay,
no.
so you trying to get 2 picks. You want them to trade back so they can get 2 picks in like the top 20 or something?
I don't want them to trade back, period. I don't want them to trade back.
Oh, okay. So
I
that's
want
right.
them to go.
You want them to get Abdul Carter.
That's the best move for them.
Technically, it is because their secondary really ain't that trash. They got a Woozier and Sneed back there. And if Woozier can stay
trying to
healthy
say.
and Sneed can stay healthy, then that hand they'll be all right in the secondary. But
I
But
put it
see,
to you like this.
Ridley and Pollard both had 1,000-yard
Hold on.
seasons.
Watch
So they
this.
probably
Watch
ain't gonna
this.
replace
Watch
him.
this. Baltimore said they won a Super Bowl based off the back of their defense. You can win a Super Bowl off of your defense. And if you need a quarterback, you can go get a quarterback. But you build a defense.
Now be fair, Winston. It's rare. It's rare. That's only happened.
We just
That's
saw
only
this.
happened a few times.
Defenses
I'm
win
saying, but that's only happened.
Understand what I'm saying?
Baltimore did it.
Hold on. Watch this.
Go ahead.
All right, we just saw them watch Philly win a Super Bowl off the back of their defense. Now we're letting.
See, now y'all finna get into something. Y'all finna get into something. We'll be
let's move on. Let's move on.
Y'all finna get into something. See, I always get into this argument.
Hold on, Red.
Tampa Bay, Seattle. Them about the 3 teams I say won it on the back of the defense. Philly had Hurts. They had Barkley.
Well, I'm gonna tell you.
Stop it.
They had a great defense, but you still had Barkley.
Hold on. Philly won that goddamn
game
talent
on
way
offense,
back
man.
in the beginning of the second. I tell you exactly where Philly won the game. When they said they had sack after sack after sack. That was at the beginning of the second quarter. That's where they won the game. That was the defense.
Yeah, that defense line
had a good game, but you can't put them like Baltimore, Tampa, and Seattle.
I'm not putting them on the same pedestal. I said what they did. It's not the same pedestal. I said what they did. What they did was they won on the back of their defense.
Yeah, let's get to some Falcons.
Would you say the Giants? Would you say the 2007?
Red. Not red. I'm saying not red now. Let's get to some Falcons country. What did y'all think about Raheem and Terry Fontenot presser yesterday?
You trying to change the subject, James? My bad.
Well, I was gonna suggest that we do that because see, we got so much stuff wrong with our team. Man, looking at somebody else, man. I mean, they'll come
right.
and tell us what the hell are you looking over here for.
I don't know who bought the Titans up, but damn, James, right when I'm getting in the meat of my argument.
Hey, that's when it usually happens, Red.
I think it's because we were talking about the draft.
Yeah, we were talking. Yeah, we were talking about the draft. But now, James, I'm gonna add something to your question.
Yeah. Now,
the NFLPA had a report card to come out. That was one of the late things that I was talking about, Keely. The National Football League Players Association came out with their report card on head coaches and owners.
Live.
Now,
live.
Red. I guess you done read the report. But they ranked Raheem Morris second among all the head coaches, and they had Dan Quinn. They had let me see, who else was it? They had about 6 coaches up there, but Raheem Morris ranked second among head coaches as far as the Players Association is concerned. Arthur Blank was in all three top owner categories. Now, they did not rate Fontenot, but this is what they said about Raheem Morris. So adding on to what you said, James, the press conference yesterday from Raheem Morris, press conference from Terry Fontenot, your question was, what do we think about the press conference?
Mm-hmm.
Now, since I'm talking, I'm just going to go ahead and say what I got to say and get out the way and let you all have it. I think it's a doggone sad day where you sit up here and grade a person on the press conference versus grade them on what he did on the field. Because I remember when he first got here, and you know, it's not just us that does this. Everybody does this. You know, because they were. I remember the Detroit head coach talking about, when we get them, we gonna keep kicking them and we gonna bite them in the knee, and if we run out of teeth, we gonna grab them by the nuts. You know, all kind of old crazy stuff this man was talking. All right, yeah. I mean, he was saying all kind of stuff, and we were just saying, "Yeah, dog, is Fred Flintstone playing ball?" That was Yeah. Okay. So supposedly, you know, they had some people say that, you know, various people won the press conference and all this type of stuff. All right. Now, his team went to the NFC Championship, so, you know, I can give him kind of a pass on the press conference. He tried to back up, you know, what it was he was saying in the press conference. But same thing with Raheem Morris last year. People got excited because of the press conference. I'm saying, hold your horses. Wait a minute. You know, you don't win the Super Bowl by winning the press conference. If that was the case, hell, shoot. Everybody, you know, anybody with a good doggone talking game could win it, hands down. So at this juncture, what I've seen and, you know, listening to both of them, they were slick. They were polished. Terry Fontenot got to the point, and while he was waving his arms talking, I thought he was going to take off when they started asking him about Kyle Pitts. So, I mean, he just went on. You know, we don't try to put him in the best position to succeed and whatever. And matter of fact, I was on with Tidy Coach, Slim, Red, your favorite person. Tidy Coach, Slim, and
it was me.
And yeah, that's right. James was on there with me. You know, we were, you know, going over some film and talking about it. But thing was that, you know, I'm not impressed. You know, those things like that, I have learned to not be impressed one way or the other. I just take what it is that they say and remember it, so that when they say something different, I'm gonna hold what they said before against what it was they said after, and then we're gonna come to some type of conclusion. Did you mean what you said then? Do you mean what you say now? Why did the story change? Blah 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 blah. You know, and then I'll make my decision, and I'm, you know, have my assessment of what's going on.
Hey,
you know, so at this juncture, I'm,
hey, John,
you know,
John,
I'm just here.
John, hold on real quick. Breaking news. Abdul Carter got a stress fracture in his foot.
Oh,
whoa. Well, so long to the number one pick, Abdul. Because I ain't taking
that joker messed around here and wasted up 30 minutes of our time talking about that joker. And he hurt.
He was talking mad shit earlier today.
Hold on. Here was funny because he was already recovering from a shoulder injury.
Oh,
yeah. So this dude injury prone, man.
Well, we can't say injury prone, but keep in mind, going into the combine, he's saying that he wasn't going to participate in drills because he was recovering from a shoulder injury. What was it? What game he got injured in?
I think it was that Boise State. Yeah.
Yeah, it might have been that one. So we were already told that he wasn't going to work out because of the shoulder injury. So now they found another injury, which is
And stress fracture in the foot, man. You got to immobilize. Don't you? You do have to immobilize that foot, right?
No, not really. I mean, hell, Julio said that and did the combine with a broken foot.
yeah, screws.
No, it
Oh,
was broke.
okay.
It was before he had surgery. His foot was broke, and he still set the broad jump record for that combine.
So
So eight.
going into the combine, Drew Rosenhaus, who is his agent, he basically said that they didn't expect Abdul to be fully recovered from the shoulder injury until his pro day. That's what I'm reading now. So even before then, he wasn't supposed to work out at the combine. They weren't going to work him out until his pro day because of his shoulder.
What? Twitter going crazy with
They
this
just
thing.
ran his medical.
I don't see this guy being number one pick now. Unless Titans, and it definitely ain't nobody finna trade up. I can tell you what, ain't nobody finna trade up for him. So now
Let him slide. Let him slide. Terry do the right thing and move the fuck up and go get him.
you think he slided? Okay, let me ask you this: if he slided 15, you want us to take him with that stress fracture?
I said Terry do the right thing, trade the fuck up and go get him.
Yeah, and let me say this, Red. Yeah, I would say still take him at 15 because for the simple fact that stress fracture is gonna be healed by the time training camp come around. So there's no worries about that. He played hurt with with a shoulder injury. So with that being said at hand, that shows the toughness that he has. So hell yeah, bring his ass to that red and black.
Okay, James. I just asked. Thanks, buddy. I see what you feel about it.
Look, the thing with the Falcons is
Okay, but I just want to see what we was at if he slid.
The Falcons they act like they're scared of getting talent. It's fucking crazy.
Well, don't say the Falcons. Say Terry. That's Terry.
No,
well, that's the one going shopping for the grocery, Red.
Well, yeah.
I know. John, I'm gonna be on pins and needles nervous until all this over with.
Man, they went and got Troy Anderson.
We got who?
They went and got Troy Anderson.
I'm finna take my face off the screen after you just said that.
They could have left Troy Anderson on the side of the damn mountain or in the cow pasture where they found his ass.
Man, Troy Anderson needs to be back home on the ranch, running them cows and cattle on that ranch every day for his pop. Go back to Yellowstone, Troy.
Now, but okay, now, let's address the head coach and general manager interview. Now, I said what I said. Now, anybody want to go next? What did you think about it?
Well, I said yesterday that Raheem to me was very informative about certain things. Some things he left out there for you to think about. Terry, I thought I know Tight had said, what's up, Tight? I see you down in the comments. Said that, Raheem could be like a used car salesman. I said you could reverse that and you could put that on Terry. Because Terry sounded like a used car salesman yesterday. So it's like, I thought overall he was very straightforward when it came to Kirk Cousins. Even though I hate mentioning his name, he was very honest about it. He didn't want to discuss it. He was like, "Go ask Kirk." Basically, that's what he said yesterday. I was like, okay, but overall, you have an idea that they're looking at pass rushes. They did mention that yesterday, so that made me kind of happy. It's just choosing the right pass rusher. You know what I'm saying? So,
I don't think either really tipped their hands. I really didn't get anything from not Raheem, but Terry. Because I don't he gives these blank kind of vanilla answers. He doesn't tell you anything. He says a whole lot of nothing, basically. he was directly asked about Kirk. He was also directly asked about Pitts. And the Pitts thing was interesting, the comments that he made. And I guess we'll see how it's handled because, I mean, you're gonna be faced with an interesting decision with him, and do you go ahead and pay him, or do you let him walk for nothing? Like, I mean, you're in a situation where you don't have a lot of draft picks, and the one piece you got that could probably get you some picks in return or some type of value, like that's their biggest trading piece, I would say, him or Tyler Algier. But I remember he was asked about Algier, and he viewed him more so as an asset in keeping him and Bijan together. I don't know. So it's gonna be weird. I would, considering our circumstances, I would love for a trade to be executed. And I don't think Grady is going anywhere. I don't think Algier is going anywhere. And I can't read Terry, but it sounds like they're gonna just let him at least play through to let Pitts play through at least to a trade deadline. That's what it sounds like. But again, Terry really didn't tip his hand. But if I'm trying to read in between the lines, if I'm really attempting, that's what it sounds like.
And at this time, I want to welcome Tidy from the Atlanta Bird Gang in tonight. I appreciate him letting me come in and play in the yard last night. And
hold on, last night? What the hell happened last night?
Well, it had a man, I said something about it earlier.
Man, what? Yo, all right, look, I'm out of town at work. I don't get back home till Sunday. If y'all gonna have a show, somebody please text me. Please text me.
All right, well, next time we will.
My bad on that, Winston. My fault.
Hey, man, I went on, got down, laid it down, went to sleep. See, Red don't know what happened last night.
John, let me ask you this. Somebody posed, I remember they were talking about these two interviews the day prior because they knew they was coming on Tuesday. So somebody posed a question Monday, and they said somebody should ask Terry, what does he feel about drafting UGA players, or why don't you draft more UGA players, especially the studs on defense? So did anybody ask that question yesterday to him?
Yeah.
About him not drafting UGA
and
players?
He gives the same answer that he always gives. Like,
what did he say?
That's what I'm saying. He talks about the total quality of football played in Georgia, how he catches the high school games, and there's local talent that like he compliments Kirby on his program. It's just the same. Like, it's just,
man. Oh my God.
He reminds you that he got a pretty peach that he puts by Georgia players named Real Nice Pretty Peach.
Yeah, he said that 2 years ago.
He said it again yesterday.
That's what I'm saying. Like, he gives the same answer. He doesn't necessarily tip his hand.
What out of Georgia we got what? Javon Gwynn and John Fitzpatrick. And hold on, what was the defensive lineman that we drafted last year? And he left. He was on the practice squad, huh?
Zion Logue.
Yeah, he went to Pittsburgh, didn't it?
I don't remember. But
crazy. But another thing too, welcome in Taddy, and shout out to Big Low Country in the comment. If y'all not subscribed to him, man, hit the subscribe button, run that shit up. You can have a great time every time. Big Low Country, man. Shout out, brother.
Thank you, and good evening, y'all.
What you think about? Well, Tidy, you had the show last night, but would you please give a synopsis of what it was that you said on your show last night about those interviews? And did you hear what I was telling them about the Players Association voting?
About I've been listening. Like I've been eating and listening, but about Raheem being voted, I think number 2 coach in the NFL. Is that right?
Yeah, and they didn't. I guess I don't know whether the general manager is included in that, but they went from Raheem to Arthur Blank, and Arthur Blank is top 3. So
I mean, he's a player's coach.
So.
Well, as far as my opinion on it, I guess I will start off and just tip my hat to Arthur Blank, because I remember when they originally started making this more of a public thing. He came out and said how unacceptable this was, that his facility was ranked so low, and I think he put in about $60 million toward renovations, and evidently it worked in his favor. So, I'll give him props on that. If we ain't winning, at least the facilities are a top tier, just like the stadium we play in. So I give him props on that. As far as Raheem ranking, I don't even know what to think about that. I don't know if that's voted on by players or by agents, or I don't know how that's voted upon. So don't really have a major opinion on that until Raheem starts winning with Atlanta, if that does happen to happen. As far as the interviews yesterday or the press conferences yesterday, there was really nothing, no groundbreaking news that Terry or Raheem said. They pretty much kept it PC and kept it typical protocol. They both floated around the Kirk Cousins question, which going into the interview, I figured they would. We're really not gonna get any groundbreaking information on Kirk Cousins until he's no longer on the team, whether that be by trade or by cut. Then they'll start, digging a little deeper into that. But everything else, it was just 15 minutes that we looked at. It was just, typical. Hey, we off vacation, we back to work. It really wasn't then totally out the loop, I would say.
All right. Hey, welcoming Ron back. Hey, Ron back, Winston. Ron, Winston. Yeah, I don't know if you heard what Winston said. Winston said every time we get into something, your camera seems to just go off like you don't even want to talk about it.
No. See, when you got a phone call coming through and your family calling you, I had to go.
Yeah. Well, there you go.
Family
in other words, John, you heathens ain't worth more than my family.
But he did. He right.
No, Tommy,
He
don't
right.
do that,
I got to go along with him now.
Don't do that, Tommy.
I broke it down for you, Ron. I know you.
Don't do that, Tommy.
Man, look. Far be it from me.
Living in your world, Ron. We understand.
No.
Far be it from me. 03 Dirty said you were looking for Steve Smith. That's your friend too, right? that is your friend. That is somebody.
Oh Lord.
That is somebody you know, right?
Okay. Oh, don't do me like that. 3 Dirty.
Homeboy girlfriend, a wife.
But look, now, okay, who's going next on that topic?
What?
And Ron, what we're asking
the combine interviews, Ron and Terry.
It just was like Tiny said, they just were doing the tap dance around the whole thing. In my opinion,
I think that mayor from The Wire in season 3, I think he'd be more open than Raheem and Terry. What his name? Carcetti. And you probably get more from him than you get from Raheem and Terry. And you know how closed book he was.
I mean, that's what they always do. They always tap dance around different stuff. I mean, so it will not change.
I mean, but I don't think that's really the kind of platform where they get drilled. Like, I think, like, when you see the local press conference with local media with people like Zeno and Orlando kind of pitches softballs, but they don't really get pressed into any type of direction at these at the combine.
I thought they learned their lesson not to be soft anymore. I thought we were gonna be hardcore, ask these questions. Man, they still throwing softballs, man.
Well, no,
Well, see, that was national media, Red. That was national media, and the only person that I recognized was the Orlando Ledbetter, right?
Yeah, Ledbetter was at the combine, but Ledbetter also has a relationship with a lot of those guys. It's not like he's gonna drill them.
Well, because shoot, when Arthur Smith was messing with him, man, look at him. I think his voice went up another octave when he was talking to Arthur Smith. And see, this panelist on panelist violence is going on back here in the chat with old Antonio. Well, I tell you, Antonio, come on up here. Quit doggone sniping. We know you got a gun. We know you got a blicky. Come on up in here. And Winston did acknowledge that Big Low is peeping. Big Low, if you got a minute, come on up in here, man. We can talk for a minute.
What up, Big Low?
On camera for a minute. Yeah.
Antonio, you talking about that? You talking about that water gun he fell in the pool with last year?
Yeah. Oh, and we're gonna have. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and announce it now because I know that the draft isn't until April. Oh, I got a good prize.
Oh, are we gonna do another live show?
Oh yeah. We're gonna do another live draft show.
So I can take off.
And just like we did last year. How many picks was it? The first one to 20 correct picks or 15 correct picks, was it?
Oh yeah.
Won the prize.
I think Red won, didn't he?
Yeah, Red won, and I finally got him his stuff. Red, how much you got left, Red?
John was hiding from me. He finally emerged.
How much you got left, Red?
I took a few sips. I gotta preserve it. My birthday coming up now.
Oh, okay. Well, I have no doubt that you're gonna preserve that because see, you mess around there and turn that bottle up too high.
Oh, the draft is in.
Man, I took a few sips this other night. It was like I was vaping, smoking some of that California green, man. This stuff is strong.
Oh yeah, hey, that's the way they used to brew it up there in the hills. They taught they taught whatchamacallit how to make doggone liquor. But yeah, but the prize. Oh, I got a good prize.
Jack Daniels.
Y'all been not messing around. Let me win some more liquor now. I'm gonna have me a stacked bar, thanks to John.
Yeah, see, look at Antonio. Red for the record. Can you straighten that young man out right there? Can you straighten him out?
Yes. This ain't no cheap. This ain't none of that cheap Fred Sanford liquor, man. This that real stuff. This expensive stuff, man. You can't even pay cash for this, man. You gotta use that gold card for this, Antonio. So stop talking trash and get on up in here, like we say. All these shots you taking from the audience, from the background. Get on up here and join the panel, Tonio. Since you taking all these shots, what are you, the class clown or the audience now? All the comments now.
Thinking he gonna get paid.
Tonio, we're gonna throw you in the pool again.
Thinking he gonna get paid. But anybody else want to take a shot at that at the press conference or whatever? Cause see now,
you're tired of talking. I know you better
stop.
He better not set us up though. He set us up again. And I'm telling you, like I said, if you think that GM from Dallas needs some security, Lord, let him don't take. Let one of them stud defensive guys be there at 15, and he do something crazy like take some offensive lineman from Nebraska that we never heard of.
No, that subject did come up with Terry, about whether or
Yeah.
not he gonna stick to his BPA philosophy. He was asked twice about that. Um, and he kind of danced around it. He just kind of discussed how deep it was defensively. And kind of explained his philosophy in BPA, but he was asked that a couple times at the combine.
So
I put
now,
it to you like that. So if your philosophy is BPA, but you never draft BPA,
Right.
how does that make sense?
Well, y'all know I always been a stickler for that BPA. I never liked how close the Falcons kept that to their vest. I think I'm saying it right, and how they campaigned it. But I understood it too. It was GM speak from a new GM with a new coach. As far as the best PA, BPA is really just an opinion. You know, John BPA may not be my BPA. Red BPA may not be Ron BPA, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Is really technically no way that you can factually state that out of the top 5 players available, who is the best PA. There's nothing really scientific about it.
The quote that he gave, the quote that Terry gave regarding it is that he didn't want to draft by need and then overreach on the talent just because they feel the need. That was his response, his direct response to it. It was more so avoidance of reaching on the player.
but I mean, beggars can't be choosy, can they?
Yeah.
Aren't we in begging mode?
Well, what I'm saying is like, okay, so clearly we need pass rush, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I guess to the way I understood his point is that we're not gonna take a pass rush at 15, someone that they had on the board for say a second rounder, just because he feels a need of pass rush. That's the way I understood what Terry was saying.
But see, stuff like that is highly risky.
Yeah, but I mean, like, all right.
Isn't it? Isn't stuff like that highly risky? Because see, if that, say for instance, you identified that person that will fit your offense, defense, special teams, whatever, and you don't draft it, okay? And the first opportunity to get him, you don't draft it. All right. Then somebody else comes along and gets it. All right. Then it gets out. And see, now that I guess that's about the bad part about it. It gets out that, yeah, I wanted that person, but I didn't want to take him. All right. So since I didn't take him, somebody else scooped him up, and I had to settle for someone else that is number 3 on my picks of people to fill this particular position.
John, I'm gonna be very honest with you. I think at this point, Terry wish he probably never said it because he keeps getting questioned about it. And I'm pretty sure like it's more than just in terms of picking talent. I'm pretty sure it's more than just who's the best talent on the board. But I mean, I get the logic because even if you double draft a position, the logic is if that person, if it's a player of value, then at least you have a tradable asset, such as Tyler Algier and B. John, which then at that point kind of makes no sense because he's technically, I guess, alluding to that they're going to keep them together. But I guess that's kind of the theory is that as long as you aiming for talent, then at least you have a tradable asset. But it sounds like at this point, the way he's answering those questions, it seems like he wish he never said it because he keeps like explaining like in a sense of, look, I just don't want to reach for a talent. That's like what I'm hearing him say. I just don't want to reach. So
Man, sooner or later, he got to break out of that mode. You cannot keep playing it safe because playing it safe is not getting us anywhere. Playing it safe got us Bijan Robinson instead of Jalen Collins. They were playing the safe got us. Playing the safe got us Kyle Pitts instead of Micah Parsons. They were playing the safe got us. Sooner or later, you have to understand the route that I'm going is not working.
So quick question. So are you saying that going BPA is playing it safe?
Yes.
Okay. I can see
Because
that.
long story short, what you doing when a GM said to say that they're going BPA, it's not even like an actual factual BPA. It's a consensus BPA by media pundits and shit. So whoever falls to you at a certain point, that's what you're going to go get.
Instead of
an actual BPA.
Yeah,
You got a tight end in number 4. And they kept saying Michael Parsons is about to be a generational pass rusher. And you
now,
but to be fair,
quarterbacks came out of that draft, they were trash. Don't get me
now
wrong.
to be fair,
Justin Fields has potential, but outside of that, the rest of that quarterback draft was trash. All right, I can understand you're not making a move on that. All right, so what are your other needs?
Winston,
your
to be
biggest need was
fair,
pass rush.
Winston,
And you went and got a damn tight end in number 4.
Winston, I am not a fan of taking a tight end at 4. I think it's rather dumb. But to be fair, you said Micah was considered a generational pass rush. He would consider a generational talent as well. I mean, we picked the wrong generational talent, but he was considered a generational talent.
But Keely, that goes back to the question I asked y'all about an hour and some change ago. All right. What are your 3 foundational pieces in a team?
I agree with you. I said I agree that it was a dumb pick. I agree with it. I'm just saying, to be fair, he was also considered going to the draft a generational talent. He was considered a quote unquote unicorn. So I agree. I think it was a dumb pick. I wouldn't have, especially to start off your regime as a new GM and to start off a rebuild with a tight end at 4 who had red flags and question marks regarding whether or not he would actually be able to block at the next level. Yeah, I thought it was rather stupid. I'm not arguing that point. The only context I'm adding with that, both of them were considered generational talent.
And see, and that's the problem. Because see, Winston, like you said, you had pundits, and you got pundits even right now. Just like I read what this dude said about the Titans, and we're not going back to the Titans, but I'm just using him as an example. All of these mock drafts, all of these, scouting reports, things of that sort, especially after this weekend. Wait till after this weekend, man. You gonna have so many people saying this about that and that about this, and I'm liable to go out there and see if I can get a sub minute 40 time in.
So
it might take me 2 minutes to do it.
John, something popped in my head because they did ask him about Pitts at the combine, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it appears, and I'm not saying it's definite, but it appears that 2 coaching staffs at this point have kind of conceded or gave up on Pitts. Okay. But the way in which Terry Franklin, I'm attempting to read between the lines, he didn't give a lot. I admittedly will say he didn't give a lot, to give on the subject. Mm-hmm. But it kind of seemed like they didn't necessarily have an interest in trading him. It was more so we're here to support our players, put them in the best position to succeed type of language that he gave, right? So what do you think they're going to do with Pitts, considering it appears that Arthur Smith, towards the end of that year, it seemed to be favoring Jonnu in the play calling over Pitts. And then we saw the same thing towards the end of the year with Raheem, where the bulk of those snaps going down towards the end of the year, we're starting to go to Charlie Warner. I mean, keep in mind, Warner started with like 3 or 4 out the last 5 games, and then Pitts came off the bench 2 of the last 3. And then at that point, like you're talking about, I went back and I was looking at the snap counts, and up like that first game, Pitts got like 90% of the offensive snaps, and then you just saw it dwindle. And then by like week 8 against the Titans, they're both getting the backup tight end is getting 50% of the snaps with Pitts. And then hell, with Warner gets dinged the Saints game, I think that's when he got a concussion. But after that, literally he's getting more snaps than Pitts. And I remember Mike Bill and everybody talking about on the radio was like Pitts was literally spending more time on the sidelines than in the game. So it literally appears that Raheem gave up on Pitts, but yet the language at that press conference seems more so in support of Pitts.
Well, Penix been in support of him. I tell you that.
Yeah, he has.
So maybe I don't know. Maybe they just following a quarterback right now since Penix been talking to him. Maybe they say, okay, well,
but
Penix
that's
like
now this guy is objectively your biggest trade piece, your most valuable trade piece, I would say.
But we know Terry, he don't think like we think. So maybe he's not even thinking like that.
And if you keep him, then you gotta make a decision, because I'm pretty sure you're not gonna just let him walk into free agency. Like you gotta figure something out.
They could. I'm saying, like I said,
that would be terrible if they just let that man walk into free agency.
Well, they've made some terrible decisions in their tenure. So I mean, it ain't like we gonna be like that's the worst decision they ever did.
if Kyle Pitts is able to be let go in free agency, leave on his own free will, unless we win the Super Bowl that following season, find no asses out the door. That is your first pick. Not just for this regime, but as a GM. Period.
Now hold on. Now Winston.
The door?
Winston.
No,
Winston, are we sure? Now see, we go right back to this.
I'm 100% sure. I am 100% sure.
I can't say because I can't say.
Look at what he.
I'm supposed to say Michael Peters is his first pick.
Look what he accumulated in the draft. You got Bijan, Drake London, Drew Dahman, AK.
So we got to figure out how to get Dahman back on the team. There's no assurance he'll be back.
Now wait a minute, Winston.
Outside of them, like who else did he hit on?
Now hold on.
What I'm saying, are we sure that?
I'm just asking, like who else have you hit on?
That's what I'm going to ask you, John. I'm trying to see. I thought we wasn't giving Terry credit for those picks. I thought Terry's tenure just started this year.
All right, I give you that. Tyler Edger. All right, outside of those 5, who else have you hit on?
No,
so are we giving?
I'm not crediting. I can't credit Fontenot with Kyle Pitts. I can't.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Are we giving him credit for Pitts?
Like he's literally
because he's saying that Richard McKay was still had.
Well, and Arthur Smith too. And Arthur Smith too. Yeah, Keely. We did argue about this one. We did argue about this.
All right, you keep using the far in the elevator example, right?
Yeah.
That we don't know. However, out the people that we don't know, right? We could put 3. We got 3 names in the bag: Rich McKay,
right,
Arthur Smith, and you got Terry. Of the 3 unknowns, it's only one of those 3 that actually has a Tyler GM who's by title, his job is to do this.
He's supposed to be. He's supposed to be.
So here's what I'm saying. Even though we got a group of don't knows, it's only but one of them that actually has the job description to do that job.
And he gonna catch. He gonna catch it. He gonna catch it because
is he already supposed to be catching it though, John? That's the question.
Yes, he by Keely's definition, by that title, he's supposed to catch it. He's supposed to catch it. Now,
you hear that, James? You hear that, James? So we giving him credit for pits.
Well, and see, I mean, by the title, he's supposed to catch it. Now, what was Rich McKay's title during that time?
President, I think.
Was he team president? Cause see, just like every time we discuss this, we have to go back and look at the fact that Arthur Blank's management structure of this team has been snafu.
Well, I think he had a title like he's the president. He's the president of operations, just non-football decisions, but everything else, like he's in charge of. But football decisions were supposed to be made by the GM.
I got one question.
That's his current title.
Wait, what
And
you
that
was
just
talking about,
changed
Ray?
last year. Back then, he was president of football operations. He was president
So
of football operations.
I got to shift it. If he was
They
president of
said that
football
Arthur Smith
operations,
and Terry Fontenot had equal power, but they both reported directly to Rich McKay.
What proof do we have that he interfered or interfered with them doing their job?
They both had to report to him.
Man,
No. Hold on, Winston. I have a manager, right? I have to report to somebody at my job, but he has never interfered with me doing my job. I just report to him.
you were lucky.
Well, I'm very lucky because in every single role I've had in my entire corporate career, not a single one did my job for me.
Yeah, and you are lucky.
In 13 years in Coca-Cola's corporate office, not one manager did my job for me.
Look, in 45 years at the post office, I did more side work than the job I was getting paid to do.
But I don't doubt that you did more work than you needed to do. My question is, how many times did your manager do your work?
Every day.
All right. Well, maybe I'm in the minority.
See, the thing is, Keely, in your line of work, corporate America, they will train you and then turn you loose. All right, use what you know to make good decisions. All right, when something goes wrong, I'm going to come to you and ask you what you did. You followed the cookbook, you made a good decision, fine, good. We'll move on.
I would say this. My overarching point is this: just because he reporting to him, I don't think that's significant evidence to suggest that McKay didn't allow him to do his job. That's all I'm saying. I'm just saying that just simply reporting to him does not mean that he did his job for him. I just need more evidence of some type of interfering because I have yet to see any proof that Terry hasn't been free to do his job. That's my only point. And I know we're just gonna rehash all of this over like we always do, but that's my only point. Just the mere fact that he reported to him doesn't mean that.
I want to know right now before we leave today, who are we putting this on? Because I'm tired of figuring
Rich
out.
McKay.
Put pits on here.
I put it on Rich McKay.
Let me ask you this question. Since I got called on by Red. Thank you, Red. If that's the case, why did they move Rich McKay to the soccer team then? If that's the case, because that gives me some type of thinking that he interfered in some way if they removed him from football operations over to the soccer team.
So you feel that the movement had to be because of interference.
I'm gonna say in a way, but not all the way. Because for the simple fact, but if that was the case, if they let them do their job, and he was still reporting to Rich McKay, why did they change they have to report to Arthur Blank?
I would say this. There has been different iterations of front office structures. Like, keep in mind, even with the Thomas Dimitrov era, you had him where he was the quote unquote sole GM. Now, was McKay in that role of football, over football operations at that point when Dimitrov was here?
Yes.
All right. At any point did we assume that Dimitrov was limited in his ability to do his job?
I would say by by virtue of the fact that McKay was his boss. And the reason why I say that is because of the way that my boss used to do. Now, and you made a good point, Keely, about corporate structure and what your boss had you do and all that type of stuff. And that's why I told my particular story, because I had bosses, even though I carried the title, I had bosses that would jump ahead of me and start making calls and doing various things or whatever, and then tell me I did a good job at the end of the day. Okay. And I got high level pay and everything. So guess what? Look, ain't no sense me fighting with him. I'm gonna go right along with what it is that he said do. And then the main part about it, he was man enough to stand up and say, and this one particular one I remember, he was man enough to say, yeah, we made a bad call then. He said we, but he meant himself. Yeah, we made a bad call then. Well, don't worry about it. I got it. And he took the fire. But I worked for some other ones that, they did everything, and then when it would mess up, they try to blame me. And first thing I would do, hey man, you made all these calls. And I didn't work for them no more, because I was one of those types of people that would, hey, you're not gonna give me any type of discipline about something that you did wrong. No, if you want me to do it, let me do it. If I do it wrong and I need, corrective action, discipline, blah, 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 go ahead. We'll hash it out in that particular process, and we'll see what's what.
I will say this too. There's different.
Like my job, Jim.
There's different people have different experiences, and all of them, neither one of them can be proven to align with what the Falcons are currently experiencing or have experienced. Your situation could align with it. My situation could align with it. But to James' question, I would say this. To my understanding, the reason that structure was set up like that was because of the inexperience of Fort Terry. So to my understanding, he was supposed to be a sounding board. Somebody, the way it was explained was that he would be there just to go and as a resource for Terry. So Terry would go and say, hey, I have these questions. Can you feel me? Because he didn't have any GM experience. Mickey Loomis was still the GM in New Orleans. Loomis, he called all the shots. So Terry spent 1 year as an assistant GM, to my understanding. Just got prior to that. So to my point, in terms of like structure, during the Dimitrov era, you had points where it seemed Dimitrov was running the ship solo, and then it got to a point where they started bringing in all the GMs from Kansas City to assist him. And then at one point, it appeared in which Quinn started taking a little bit more say in the. So I'm saying that to say that we've seen different structures over the years. So this isn't the first time we've seen changes in terms of how things were structured in the front office. That would be my response to that.
Okay, let me
And
ask you this
My,
question. Let me ask
my,
you this question, Keith. Hold on. I got to run at this. I'm gonna let you cook after this. Okay, big dog. So if
mhm.
that's the case and he's inexperienced, don't you think the boss up above will micromanage him in the sense?
I can't make that assumption. So, for example,
I'm just asking.
and I'm just telling you, I can't make that assumption. So if all I can go on what they give us, what I heard was that he was a resource for him. So as in, if Terry has questions, he has someone to directly and go to, basically
Right,
as somewhat of a mentor. Like, hey, you got experience. I'm still learning on the job. Let me ask you this question.
right,
Now, in that dynamic, I have no evidence that 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 he then got interfered with any decision that Terry had to make. I have no evidence of that. Therefore,
right.
I can't come to any conclusion because the only thing I was ever told was that he was a resource for them.
So when did they give Terry the GM spot? Like they said, he was the GM, but he was always in the back of the closet. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
When they say this the GM and everything, so he just started cooking.
The back of the closet.
So
Yeah, I just said,
Ron. Technically, they gave him that spot when Arthur Smith got fired.
right, but what I'm saying is he was not always in the meeting. He was always somewhere else. And when they gave him the GM spot, he started being in the meetings and stuff. So when
I can see
Hey, Ron.
if from an
Hey, Ron.
ownership perspective.
Where was he at? Where was he at again, Ron?
in the back of the closet,
So I can see from the perspective if I'm an owner and I have if I see potential in young talent that I feel like can
right,
develop, right, then
right,
I would have no problem putting them in those roles with experience around them. So for example, a lot of answers that they gave us was that it was a collaborative process early
right,
on, right?
right,
So as in to say, yes, Terry is here, this is your job.
right,
Arthur Smith, you're here, this is your job. However, all four of us are here to
right,
support you, right?
right.
So that's the way I kind of that's the way I understood it. I just people can believe anything they want. They can believe that what's name is the source of all problems for the Falcons.
Right. Because I was
I just don't
told,
have enough evidence to draw the
Like
conclusion.
it's
I,
Lady Gaga
I
and
was
Bradley
told,
Cooper.
like they made
How
Terry
old
the
is he?
GM.
19.
They made him the GM, but he did not have no say so. Then when
He
Rich
a
McKay
grown man.
stepped down,
You taking jobs, you don't have no say so.
I
You a
mean that's
grown
what I
man.
was told. They
He
were
a
like,
grown man. Ain't no
Who told you
damn
that?
teenager.
that's what I read too. They were like, he was the GM, but he did not have no overall say so. Who
That's what I'm
come
saying.
in?
Where did that information come from?
Right.
ESPN?
ESPN.
ESPN.
Yeah.
ESPN said that he didn't have any say.
Yeah. Just drop
Basically, they were like, he don't really got no say so over stuff.
Are you saying somebody on ESPN gave that opinion?
Yeah, they gave their opinion of Terry at the time.
Cause they probably saying how dumb could one GM be making all these
So
stupid
I always thought, like, why the fuck you would take a GM job, and you don't got no say so over nothing?
right. When you probably have more power in New Orleans being an
Right.
assistant GM.
So that's why I'm asking you, Keely, when did they say, you know what?
I'm saying that he was the
Don't-
GM
Well,
from
all right. So if you're
on him.
asking me, right?
Yeah,
I don't think there was a point in which Terry was limited in his ability to do his job.
okay.
I never heard anything from our front office that said that Terry is limited in doing his job. I've
Okay.
never heard anything from Arthur Blank, from Rich McKay, from anyone that said that. So from day one, they said he was the GM, and they said that both will be reporting to Rich McKay,
Look,
and that he would be a resource for them.
Hold up. I just found something.
Okay.
This was from Tory McElhaney on January 8th, 2024.
Okay.
Rich McKay said Arthur Smith did not report to Terry Fontenot. And moving forward, that is the expectation for the next head coach. Arthur Blank said both the head coach and GM report to Rich McKay. Fontenot's role is to run the personnel department.
How did that differ from anything I just said?
look.
Okay. Well, wait a minute. Repeat what you said though, Keita. Cause see, this is the
what I said was I've never heard of an instance in which Terry was limited in his job.
If the head coach doesn't report to the general manager,
That's
he's
some type of
limited.
limitation. That's limitation.
Well,
He limited.
They're limited.
Because see,
right?
I mean, okay, in the hierarchy of steps, you either got the owner, a team president.
All right. So he can't fire the head coach. How did that stop him from personnel decisions?
It says that his role is to run the personnel department.
Who runs the draft?
So how does that stop him from drafting players, making decisions on players, for anything? So the inability to fire a coach, right? How does that stop him from being a GM to evaluate talent, to draft talent, to acquire talent in free agency? How does the inability to hire or fire Arthur Smith inhibit all of that?
Okay, now that's just one facet. That's just one facet.
And if y'all want to say that is encompassing, then cool. I'm not going to fight it. I don't think that's a big deal. It's non-traditional.
Yeah, it is.
It's not. Hold on. It's not traditional, but but at one point, what's the name? Dimitrov didn't have the power to fire Quinn. So
true, and see that just goes to the convolution. That just goes to the total convolution.
And at that point, Dimitrov is like
with the draft and not have the power with the coaches.
But see, the thing here, when it comes to the draft is a collaborative effort from the head coach, your scout team, and your GM. It's just not him.
You're right, James. But my question is,
so
his ability
So my thing is like, if the head coach don't report to the GM, what type of power did he have in those draft classes with the tight end and stuff? And how much of the blame does he get for that?
Now,
does he get
are you saying
does he get the full blame?
Hold on, James. Are you saying Arthur Smith can decide I want Kyle Pitts and Terry can want somebody else and be in there?
I'm just saying that the full totality of the blame for Terry shouldn't be there when you got Arthur Smith dumbass right there, and you still got the scout that scouting department that he had right there as well.
But you're absolving the blame based upon inconclusive evidence.
I'm absolving the blame for everybody who made that decision. I'm not just absolving the blame for Terry. That's what I'm saying.
Look here, you the GM though, homeboy. So yeah, I understand.
But listen to what John listen to what John said. John said that the head coach didn't report to the GM. He reported to Rich McKay. So that's like equal. But that's equal power. Hold on. That's equal power at that point. Because if it's yes, it is. Yes, it is. Because he has to say so over the roster or what type of players he wants for his offensive scheme and his defensive scheme because he's a head coach.
James,
so he has.
Arthur Smith wants one guy,
just because
and Terry want another guy, and also you saying Arthur Smith has the power to veto Terry's move and say we're taking.
He don't know that. That's my point. He doesn't know that. The point is just because he doesn't have the power to fire him, that does not mean they have equal say in personnel
But
decisions,
they
or
said
that he can.
they just said in the conference when they fired
Hold on.
Arthur
Here's
that
what I'm saying.
they was 50-50, bro.
They
They said that
no. The word was
it was 50-50.
James. Collaborative
That's
and 50-50 are
50-50.
two different things. Collaborative and
That's-
50-50 are two
uh,
different things.
If I'm not reporting to my GM, so what type? That means I have some type of GM power over the roster because I'm over that roster as
No,
well. If I got 50-50,
you're making an assumption.
that's not an assumption.
It is an assumption. Just
Based on
because,
the picks that we made the last 4 years,
James, here's what I'm saying.
how is that not an assumption and that's not an Arthur Smith move? If you think about it, if
How you ask a question? You ask the question. You want me to answer it?
I'm gonna be quiet. Go ahead. My
You asked me
bad.
the question. How is that? What I'm saying is, just because they work together, that does not mean they have the same power, right? That does not mean they have the same control over it, right? So if it's 50-50, does it work the opposite direction? That means Terry has equal say in coaching. That was a question.
We waiting, James.
Equal say in coaching.
Yeah, so if they're 50-50, if you can make the assumption that Arthur Smith has equal say in what Terry does for his job, can you make the same assumption that Terry has equal say in what Arthur Smith does in his job?
Yes.
You can't.
Yes, you can.
Yes, you can.
You cannot make the assumption that Terry gonna tell, no, you got to run a 3-4 instead of a 4-3. You cannot make the assumption that Terry has equal say and control over coaching decisions and scheme and what they're gonna run.
I think Terry played a very large and pivotal role in our defense, from the defensive coordinator to the guys we got in free agency that year. They all came from New Orleans, where he was at.
All right, so you can collaborate. However, so we'll take Raheem and Terry, right? So Terry can make a suggestion in terms of scheme and coaching. However, Raheem will probably in that case will say, but no, he has final say though. And it can work easily the same way, in which Raw can have a say in who and the groceries that are being picked. However, Terry has final say. Like, that's still a collaboration. That is not equal 50-50 power. That is not Raw and Terry both have 50-50 power in who makes those decisions. They collaborate, they have a discussion. However, one has the big joker. One has the final say in that situation. Same thing over on the coaching.
So let me ask you this question: if that same person has the big joker, why I'm not going to the GM if he has the big joker? Why do I have to skip over and talk to the president of operations? We both report at the same time.
Who you talking about?
I'm asking a question. I'm just asking a question.
All right.
I'm saying, you said, why do I? Who you mean as far as the head coach? Why does the head coach?
He just because I have to report to someone else as my job, that does not mean I have equal power. Like, if Winston is the dishwasher and I'm the doorman and John is our boss, that does not mean we have equal jobs. Like, we both reporting to the same boss, but that does not mean that, like, I'm the dishwasher on Mondays. Like, that's his job and this is my job. We both report to John.
I'm the dishwasher on days. I'm the dishwasher. You the dishwasher on Tuesday.
But you're making a son. John did not ever tell me that I got a dishwasher on Mondays. He pays him to dishwash. He pays me to be the bouncer at the front door.
I'm saying Rich McKay telling Terry he washed dishes on Monday. He telling Arthur to wash dishes on Tuesday.
And you have no proof of that. That's my point.
To
my example that I just gave, both of us report to the same manager but have different jobs. That does not mean I step on Winston's toes in doing his job, and that does not mean Winston step on my toes to do my job. But we both reporting to John.
The problem with that arrangement, if you are the GM, and see, just like Red and just like Ron said, if you the GM, you are supposed to perform general manager's duties, such as, matter of fact, the GM was supposed to hire the coach. The GM was supposed to hire the coach. But thing is, Rich McKay and the search committee that they put together identified the coach that they wanted to get, went and got Arthur Smith because he was high on everybody's coaching selection board. Okay, everybody had, effusive praise for Arthur Smith. Arthur Smith should have been, I want him as head coach because he scores well on all of these other
John,
things.
can I ask you a quick question?
Okay.
Was that the first time we used a third-party search committee to make a hire?
I think about the second, possibly the third.
Okay.
And did that search
So
committee
the previous 2 times, did we have a GM in here?
Yeah.
Okay, who was that GM?
It was no, it wasn't the GM. It was
No, I'm saying when the previous 2 times we used a third-party search agency to evaluate and do all for the hiring. Who was the
Tidy,
GM?
you have to help me out on this because I know that Jim Mora. No, not Jim Mora. Dan Quinn. Didn't they have a independent somebody hire Dan Quinn?
Yeah, they hired a search firm.
Okay, and
So
what about Mike Smith?
I don't remember. I could be wrong, but I don't remember them using a firm for Mike Smith. I could be wrong. Don't hold me on that one.
So what I remember, and I could be wrong, but I think they used a search firm for Quinn.
Okay, yeah. Now
So at that point, Dimitrov is in what year as a GM?
That would have to be. Let me see. He came in 2008, so that would have to be
7, 8 years, something like that.
7 years.
So is he not a GM because they utilize a search firm for the hire?
What?
No.
Well, technically, he had his wings.
Yeah.
clipped.
He's a GM. Yeah, he's a GM. Yeah.
Well, he did have his wings clipped because part of Dan Quinn getting the job is he had control over personnel.
Oh, Quinn did.
But
Yes, Quinn did.
But that's a decision after the coach has been selected, right?
No, that was part of his contract of getting the job. That was part of the agreement.
You had to pick before you can have a conversation with Quinn about that. He had to be selected for the job. That's my point.
I'm assuming they had that conversation during his interview process,
which was after they got a search firm. The search firm has to go before they select the coach.
Yeah, right? The search firm went and narrowed down the candidates and said this person.
So the traditional route is that a GM selects the head coach. However, before they hired Quinn, for them to tell them that he wanted a non-traditional role, right? They already chose a search firm, which is a non-traditional route. The GM did not do the picking. They went a non-traditional route to get
Quinn. Well, see, no other teams have done that. Other teams have used search firms. I remember.
I'm not saying other teams haven't. My point.
When you said non-traditional, what do you mean?
Y'all said the GM does the hiring.
Yeah. That's part of what a GM's duties is. And I would even.
So when the Falcons when they went out looking for a new head coach, they didn't go to Thomas Dimitrov to find a new head coach.
I'm gonna say this. I don't know.
They went a third-party search firm.
Right. But what that third-party search firm does is go
find a candidate. That's it.
Yeah, they pick candidates. They give you a list of candidates. Give you pros and cons, and somebody makes a decision. Okay,
and they collaboratively make a decision
between who?
Arthur Blank,
Rich McKay, and Dimitrov at the time.
So it wasn't a Dimitrov decision solely, correct?
No. I would say not. I would
That's
say
the point. That's the point I'm making.
I would say not.
He goes
That is
popping in and
the
out
whole
again.
point I'm making. Now, to y'all point, Quinn did have in conditions in which he wanted the non-traditional structure. However, that comes after he was chosen for the job. I'm talking about the whole search process, which I'll say traditionally the GM makes that decision. And we had a veteran GM who did not lead that search process.
See, I don't understand why Arthur Blank keep hiring
Right.
these
Well,
GMs if he don't trust them like that. You just keep making all these hires that don't make sense, Mr. Blank. You hire GMs you don't fully trust. They don't give them the title, man.
But I
Just
think
don't
the
give them the
situation with Terry, it was more so the lack of experience. Like, I mean, I think
You could have easily
understand
got
that.
somebody
I
that's
understand that.
experienced.
However, I'm going to ask you when now your job, when you were hired for that job, did they let you hit the ground running, or did they say, okay, because see, a lot of times people will get hired for jobs that they've never done before, but they're qualified as hell. And what they need to know is, okay, you did this particular system in your last job, you were trained to do this system. Okay. How we work that system here is just like this. And you have to go through a basic
learning curve
about how you incorporate your skills and abilities to do your job in this new job. Okay. And
which
the
is
thing
why I
is,
can see the Falcons having a structure like that because of a learning
okay.
curve.
Okay. Go ahead, Ron.
And more GMs out here that got more experience than Terry had. That was my
Right.
Why you ain't get one of them?
Exactly. We sitting up here playing college GM training course. We ain't got time for that BS, man.
We could have got what's his name from Baltimore.
I mean, he impressed in the interview.
I mean,
he impressed in the interview.
He might be impressed, but I'm not finna
if he impressed you that much.
I'm not finna give you a job, and I know you don't got that job experience.
Right.
But
I understand that. But the thing is that
coaches
and something else too. I got to point out. We have been hiring people to give them their first shot at every doggone thing.
Right. I've been saying that.
And Thomas Dimitrov was the same thing, and it worked out.
Dimitrov, yeah. We've been hiring people as we look the Rooney Rule. The Rooney Rule.
Freedom to do his job, though. Dimitrov was doing his job from the first draft. He flipped that coin. He drafted Matt Ryan. He drafted Sam Baker. He drafted that was all Dimitrov. Y'all saying big
Red. I think that was a little bit of Terry in there.
So here's the thing. When Belichick interviewed and when Raw interviewed, the one thing I heard coming back was how well Raw did in his interview. Right. Like, he's going up against arguably the greatest NFL coach of all time. Right. But the one thing that they said was that Raw did extremely well and impressed a lot of people in the interview. He has significantly less experience than Bill Belichick. Right. He has his resume cannot compare to Bill Belichick. Right. However, once you in there in the interview, like, there's plenty of people who don't have the resume or the qualifications, but they get jobs because they kill the interview.
And
Keely. Now let me go ahead, Ron. And I got to follow that up.
We need to start giving these
young'uns
thank you that don't got no experience to do the job.
Look, you're not gonna catch me
impressed by a little jive.
Well, hey, let me say this right quick. Hey, Keely, do you know? Oh man, what was that? Mike Vrabel. You know why he didn't get any hires after the Tennessee job?
What?
He was too big. he was intimidating people with his size.
What?
Hey, Ty, do you remember that?
I remember reading something like that. I don't remember
Man.
the exact details of it.
Yeah, they said that he was intimidating people just by his size. He interviewed well and everything, but the man was intimidating people by his size. And I'm going to bridge that to Belichick because of the fact that Belichick was overqualified for the job here.
And probably didn't interview well.
Well, and see, my thing is, hey, Keely, how are you, Atlanta Falcons, interviewing me?
and that could be the attitude. That is kind of the impression I've gotten from people who talk about how he talks.
Yeah, I mean, look, he the one that wrote the test that you asking him questions out of the test.
But once again, he got experience.
Hell,
About him.
But in the hiring process, a lot of times they're looking at stuff like how are these people going to fit in with the
rest of the people that are there.
That here, how are they going to be good?
He
to
wasn't.
work with?
That's true. You're absolutely right.
Is it going to be a because it's still a business? So is this going to be a pleasant workplace? Is this going to be a bad workplace? Is this like is he going to bring energy? All that kind of stuff. I mean, and unfortunately, that probably and it's a business and it's football. If it's a pure football decision, clearly one. But however, there's other things considered, and the problem with that is that Arthur Blank is a businessman more so than he is a football guy. So he's going to consider a lot of things that aren't football related. And my point in all of this is the point in all of this is that, to your point, is how does Terry get a job like this with no experience? Is that he wins in the interview. Like,
I mean, but what I'm saying, stop giving the ones that don't got no experience. I'd rather give somebody that got experience that know what they doing.
Has anyone ever taken a chance on you?
I got the train.
Has anyone ever taken a chance on you?
Me? No.
Okay. Someone has taken a chance on me.
Yeah. Hey. Well, you know what? Somebody did take a chance. Somebody did take a chance on me.
Someone had definitely saw the potential that I had. They were like, "Yeah, you're a smart kid. I see the potential," and I got a job that I probably shouldn't have gotten.
Arthur Blank wanted both ways. You talk about you want to win, and you want to win now, but you keep doing whip behind
the same old shit.
Run is right.
Well,
you gotta hire.
And you right. Red, you and Ron are right. But see, like I said long time ago, when Belichick was about, when he was considered, okay.
Look.
Belichick, man, look, Belichick's shadow covers flowery branch.
Right.
When he walk up the street, it's an eclipse. In any coaching room, in any situation, he's an eclipse. Okay, it's just like Galactus has come to Earth because this man dragging rings on both hands.
Right.
All right. I mean, there is no irresistible force to counter his immovable object. I'm just saying, and that intimidated. I mean, look, the earthquake was here because he interviewed here. Okay, the earthquake was here, but the shaking was felt all over the NFL because
all I just trying to say, I better get somebody.
I'm just saying.
They got
go ahead, Keith. Well, excuse me, Ron.
To y'all point of experience versus inexperience. At the time in which they were hired, both Arthur Smith and Terry, we weren't in a win now situation. Right. So if you were going to hire someone who has potential to grow, that would be the scenario in which you do hire them because it wasn't a win now scenario. Right. We had a clear cap. We had to overhaul the roster. So if there was a time in which you hire a developmental GM or developmental coach, with
Right.
room to grow, that would be the scenario because it wasn't a win now situation.
Well, personally,
Well, now
I'm going on
kind of
what Mr.
I
Blank
don't know
has
about
No,
that.
I'm
always
not.
said.
Look, no. I'm not saying an experienced coach or GM wouldn't have been qualified.
Right.
I'm just saying if you
I
were
honestly,
to hire,
not even
if
with
you
the
were
coach
to
thing.
hire someone that's
I can understand you giving
unqualified, that would be the
coaches.
position. That would be the
I'm
time.
with you giving coaches a first time chance, but I'm talking about the overhaul guy. These GMs, I'd rather take the experienced GM, someone who's done this before, someone that can probably, if you want to give a coach a shot, fine. But at least I know that's the decision coming from an experienced guy than some wet behind the ear guy giving some unknown a shot. And I have no idea where all this coming from, if it's gonna work. And if it's an experienced guy giving a coach a shot, okay, maybe it's somebody he known from back in the day, and he's giving a guy who he really believes can get the job done. But
Now, Red,
Hey,
I don't
hold
want you to.
on, Keely. Let me do it. Hey, Millie Mills. I remember when Galactus came here in '66 with the old Fantastic Four. Man, that was one of the best episodes of Fantastic Four back then, buddy. Woo-wee. That
Now,
Galactus was
It
hell.
looked
But go
like
ahead, Keely.
it
Now,
looked
Red,
like we
I'm
were
not.
going in circles, hiring the first time head coaches, and we're not going nowhere.
Well, Red, to your point,
I know
as far
John
as
threw you off with
experience.
that fantasy bullshit.
Oh, get away.
So to your point, as far as by the experience, don't get it twisted. I agree. I much rather have experience in every case. But I think the assumption with Terry is that the apprenticeship serves as experience because he's sitting there side by side with someone who done. It's the same assumption that those assistant coaches that sat there on that staff with Belichick are gaining all his methods and all his experience. Therefore, when you hire them, you're going to get a Belichick disciple. So the assumption with Terry is that you're going to get a Mickey Loomis disciple, that the experience he gained was working alongside with Mickey Loomis. That's the assumption. So even though he doesn't have personal experience,
Arthur Blank shouldn't even been looking at anybody in the Saints organization anyway. You telling his dumb non-football knowing ass.
But to be fair, Mickey, they every single year what we say about the Saints that they're in cap hell, right?
Right, but
we've been saying that for years that the Saints are always in cap hell, right. But yet they for years still put a competitive team on the field.
Right.
So
I understand where you're going with this, but I still would never. I wouldn't even have looked to their organization at all. I don't care how good they are at fixing the cap. There are other GMs across. We got 32. We got 31 other organizations across the league, and I'm pretty sure they've had cap issues. And
I'm just saying that's a coveted skill. The fact that's a coveted skill. The fact that they're always over the cap, yet they always.
I would have been using that as my. I understand
where they competitive against us anyway.
Well, I mean, they won the division a couple times.
That would have been not my number one.
In cap hell?
Just
they've been in cap hell
for years.
Yeah, but
I'm talking about us.
Okay, well, I'm aware of that.
It seems like Keely was saying that because we were looking to get our cap situation fixed, and let's take someone from an organization that knows.
I will say, if someone is apprentice, if someone was an apprentice to someone who's considered a wizard of the cap, I can see how that would be attractive. It's the same way that everybody wants those coaches that come off the Belichick tree, because they assume that they're gonna have a Belichick defense.
But see, this was this,
and I'm
this
not a Terry fan at it.
Now,
you looking for somebody to build your organization. You got to go to the teams that are successful consistently. You got to go to somebody from the Chiefs, the Steelers, the Ravens, the Eagles.
Were any of them available?
Nowhere near the Saints. If I'm
were any of them available?
Nowhere near the Saints organization.
Were any of them that you just named available?
Oh no,
not their GM. Just somebody like you say. Look at their assistant GM. If I'm gonna look at the Stanks assistant GM, I'm gonna look at some of these other teams' assistant GM before I look at the Stanks.
Personally, I'll be go get Austin
Who Baltimore assistant GM? The guy that succeeded
Austin Newsom.
Yeah, the guy that succeeded Austin Newsom. He's doing a good job now.
So
Well, I don't think he was.
who
I
is
don't think he was
I
ever
probably
leaving.
took him
I don't
with
think he. I don't think he was ever leaving if he knew Ozzie Newsome was retiring. I think he was gonna inherit that next role.
Yeah,
One,
yeah,
one,
and
one
see,
thing we
yeah,
got
man.
one thing we got to keep in mind when we have these kind of conversations, man. No matter how much we love the Falcons, that's not an ideal landing spot for a lot of top candidates as far as being a general manager, especially when you was coming into a situation like Terry Fontenot was. No, an aging quarterback that everybody saw was on his last leg. You ain't got no cap money. A lot of people don't want to put that on their resume because they see it as a high probability you're gonna fail. And one thing, and Thomas Mitchell spoke on this recently, like when you get hired as a GM and then you get fired as a GM, it's extremely difficult to get another job as a GM. So we're not a high in demand franchise where people just raise their hand. Oh, I want to go work there. We gotta be real about it too now.
But
yeah,
Well,
definitely.
I think Arthur Blank could have got somebody from one of those organizations. He Arthur Blank. He could. It's Mr. Blank. He can get
But
somebody.
like I'm saying, not everybody wants to put the Falcons in that. You gotta keep in mind the situation we was in when Terry Fontenot came here.
I see what you're saying, Tidy, but you still got to try. I ain't looking to.
I mean, Arthur Blank has swung and missed too, Red.
I ain't looking to the Saints to save me, man. Sorry.
Arthur Blank has swung
And see,
missed too,
hey, Red, to your point, man, we done got more stuff from the Saints than a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, wide receivers, quarterbacks, running backs, tight ends. I mean, look, Ironhead Haywood came from down there. Joe Horn played for us here.
Okay, some of those pieces back in the day I'd take.
No, but see, it set us up. It set us up, Red. We always going down there looking for them good for nothing.
Yeah.
And then that was the same Joker we were booing.
You also gotta keep in mind. I know them our rivals, but the time Fontenot was hired, the Saints were doing a damn good job of getting into the playoffs. Well, like y'all say, we're not having a lot of cap space. It's not like they were losing every year. The Saints just started.
You're right,
losing.
Tidy. You're right, but it's a matter of pride.
I just say I am not picking depending on the state.
It's a matter of pride. Why are you going?
But like you saying, John, if you're gonna take that approach, then you can't never take nobody from the Saints ever. That's if you're gonna take that approach with the general manager, you got to take that approach with the coaches. You got to take that approach with the secretaries. You got to take that approach with everybody. And y'all can't sit here and tell me that you want to took Cam Jordan 5-6 years ago. We all would have took Cam Jordan. But see,
John, you gonna
that's the
take
point.
Sean Payton?
That's the point you missing, Red. If you're gonna take that approach, you're not taking nobody from New Orleans. You can't take nobody from New Orleans.
Now, like I said, wait a minute.
Red, you taking Sean Payton? I know you taking Sean Payton.
I would take Sean Payton.
Yeah, I know y'all will. But it's just like I said, we've been taking stuff from the Saints. Bobby Hebert came up here as our quarterback.
I get what you're saying, Red, but I'm just saying it like we can't look at them like that when it comes to making every football decision. I get what you're saying. I don't want them from the Saints. Well, yeah, but let's be honest, the last 20 years, they've been a way better franchise than we have. And they got a ring.
Okay, and you're right. You're right about that. You're right about that. Yeah, you and Keela are absolutely correct about that. And see, that's you know what? That's kind of like the doggone Falcon filter. All right, you don't care. All right, if you will take someone from your rival to play for you, to lead your team, to be the general manager of your team, then you don't need to have no Falcon filter when it comes to doggone questionable player, because you taking the enemy. All right, you taking the enemy. That Falcon filter needs to disappear.
Let me say this, John. The Saints fan have a lot of free agents this offseason. They get under the cap. So will you take Cam Jordan or will you take the linebacker?
No,
they got to cut a lot.
No, not now. Not now. No.
No, I just saying. I
don't think
just
Cam
I
said.
would
think a
come
good
here.
player
Wait a
like
minute.
Cam Jordan, yeah.
I don't think
I
Cam
just
Jordan has an
said.
interest in coming here.
Cam Jordan watched now, y'all. We
I,
done
That
we
boy,
done
yeah,
no,
I'm talking
I
about
just
watch
was
like
saying. I,
detergent.
hey,
we done
Had he
missed that
been
boat.
available back in the day, and you asked
but
me would I have taken him? Yeah, I would have took
but I
Cam
just
Jordan.
throwing out
But
names.
you don't like the GM that came from the team that the front office that brought Cam
Look
Jordan
at him.
there.
Look what he done since he been here.
But that's hindsight though, Red. That's all hindsight. You
I
did
just,
you did not have this same perspective when they hired Terry Fontenot.
I did.
Yeah, I didn't
I'm
like
trying-
either. I
can't
didn't like
remember
either
what
hire.
I did.
I probably don't
I
like him
did.
from the organization. I probably
I did. I thought they hired him and he was a double spy.
right. I think I
We go.
I mean, all I
Cause
just,
see, you know what? They are giving Terry Fontenot credit for getting us out from under the cap situation when it was going to generically happen as a matter of time.
but
Okay,
all I just saying, John, they finna have a lot of free agents over there. So their off season, half of that team could be with us. Their off season.
No.
No.
Hey,
No.
it's a fact of life. It's a fact of life. I
It's a
have to
fact
accept
of life.
it.
We don't want no washed up guys. No.
But I mean, I just
I have
said,
to.
Tommy,
Oh, wait a minute. We specialize in wash up.
I just being honest.
Ain't
Half
nobody
of that team could be over here.
Player.
like who,
Wes
Ron?
Anderson.
Like who?
Yeah. Who
The
coming from the
safety,
Saints?
Tyrann Matthew?
yeah.
No, he's wide.
He way washed.
Hey, all I
They
just
have a
saying,
very old team down there. Their team is very old.
Ron. Don't be pulling
Like
up
all I
Kamara is
just
up
saying,
there.
they finna have a lot
All
of
of
free
them
agents.
are up there.
They long past their prime, Ron. We don't need them.
Yeah, 5 years ago we could have took him.
Caden Ellis might be the best talent we've gotten from them in probably history. Yeah.
And that was a mistake.
Well, wait a minute. Bobby Abel, what about Bobby Abel?
Billy Joe Tolliver. I don't. Caden Ellis might be
calling names.
Caden Ellis might be.
But
Caden Ellis might be the best talent we've gotten from them.
Oh yeah, y'all might be right. And I'm gonna tell you like this too.
I was young when Abel came
to tie this point. To tie this point, you remember when Jimmy Johnson got was he fired or he just quit Dallas? Okay.
he quit.
Morton Anderson. Wait a minute, Keita. What about Morton Anderson over
He right.
Yeah, that's
oh, okay. I forgot about him too. But
Nobody
when Jimmy
remembers
Johnson got left Dallas and went to Miami,
Mm-hmm.
he was the only one that could go to Miami and get rid of Dan Marino. He was the only one. Because see, nobody else would have been able to survive that unscathed. Because Dan Marino was a cult figure, he was a cult hero, and Jimmy Johnson, matter of fact, now Miami had to kind of change because Miami didn't really have a running game. It was all passing back during that time. And Jimmy Johnson, it was the only one that could go down there and fire that man, get rid of Dan Marino without a whole bunch of fuss. Because any other coach, Dan Marino would have been there and that coach would have left.
John.
Well, it's just my opinion. That's what I saw at that time.
Me personally, I think they could have got the 10 from Pittsburgh. What his name back in the day? I call him the 10. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. They could have got him.
Coward.
Yeah,
Bill Coward.
I think they could have got him, and he would have done the same thing.
Wait a minute. Now Coward didn't. Coward was good, but I don't think Coward had that kind of pool. I don't know if Coward had that kind of pool, but Ron, you might be right.
At that time, and he only won one.
Yeah, he only won one.
That's all you need to get in the door, right? You just need one.
Now
The
look, Chuck
He won, but he
Noll
also won a
from
lot of
Pittsburgh
games.
might have done that, might have been able to do that.
Right, he could have done it too.
Yeah,
So-
Chuck Noll with 4.
See, Jimmy
You know.
Johnson. Jimmy Johnson had built a dynasty. Cowell, I think Jimmy Johnson to me is a little above Cowell. Even though Cowell was a great coach, Jimmy Johnson, his skill for talent evaluating,
Right. I mean,
second to none.
I just think Bill Cowell was.
Think of all the Hall of Famers he had from the Cowboys team, and then think of the few that he had on the Dolphins team.
Well, you know, half of those players came from the trade back in the day.
Oh, well, let me ask y'all about that.
Who made the trade? Who made the trade? You think Cal would have made a trade like that?
I think he would.
Man,
and
Cal,
see that and see
no ruthless.
Well, wait a minute. Let me ask this.
Like
hey, Red. Let me ask y'all this. Did Dallas Weed Man get in the Hall of Fame? I'm sorry.
Wait a minute.
Well,
he could have been a player.
I didn't mean to ask that.
Player, John.
I didn't mean to ask that. Well, I'm just asking whether he got in the Hall of Fame or not. You know, cause
Nate Newton. You talking about Nate Newton?
I mean, you gotta look at it. Minnesota was their center that year.
Don't tell.
Cause see,
probably had about 3 or 4 of them, you know.
Man, look here, Michael Irvin.
Oh man, yeah, he up in there. But I think he just bought. I think he was just buying. I don't think he was.
Michael Irvin don't remember half of the interviews he did. I'm just saying.
They fell in love with that running back on Dallas had. Minnesota did.
So, oh yeah, Herschel Walker.
Right.
I mean, Herschel Walker, man. Shoot.
I don't even want to think about that dummy right
now.
Minnesota fell in love with him. And Dallas,
he might be a dummy, but he good at sports.
Hey, Red. Now that you mention that, it's funny how both Herschel Walker and Donald Trump done turned the way they done turned out.
Right.
Because see, man, when Donald Trump offered Herschel Walker an unheard of contract, it was $25 million guaranteed. And that was unheard of money to go to the New Jersey Generals when the USFL first came out.
Mm-hmm.
And man, and you know, he went when they disbanded it. That's how Dallas got it. That's how Dallas got him. And man, shoot. And that GM up in Minnesota, somebody, man, that was a worse deal than
How many did Herschel have like a crap load of 1,000-yard seasons, like all pros and whatnot? Because what made him so valuable for this type of trade?
Well, you gotta look at
what he did at Georgia, what he did at Georgia, and what he did in New Jersey in the USFL. Because see, the NFL, the reason that Donald Trump paid that money like that was to get him away from the NFL. See, they were trying to launch the USFL, and that was the biggest splash hire or the biggest splash signing in history. Because Herschel Walker, man, look.
So my bid was he was trying to destroy the NFL.
No. They were trying to score a coup.
He was trying to compete because they wouldn't let him in.
Yeah, they wouldn't let him in. And it was just like when the ABA.
He thought Herschel was going to be the first piece to the destruction, right?
No, he wasn't trying to destroy the NFL.
He Donald of the team.
Yeah,
bring people in.
Yeah, it was just a splash signing so that it would draw other people there. And it drew a lot of stars.
He felt rejected though.
But
he did. But the thing was,
he wanted to buy the Buffalo Bills too back in the day.
Yeah. But it drew a lot of stars. USFL drew a lot of stars because when they disbanded the USFL, a lot of those jokers went to other teams, like Jim Kelly, because he was quarterback for the Houston Gamblers. Let me see. Tidy, wasn't Steve Young over there with him too?
I just asked that.
On which
for the
team?
Tampa Bay Bandits?
I think, yeah, because he just started off with the 49ers, so I'm pretty sure that's right.
No, well, he was with the Tampa Bay Bucks. He was with the Bucks before he went to San Francisco, but he was with the Tampa Bay Bandits. I thought it was that because see, matter of fact, Tampa Bay didn't have an NFL franchise at that time.
He was their first. He was their first pick, I thought. No, all right. So he played for the
backup.
No, he was their starting quarterback.
Okay.
He played for the Los Angeles Express from 1984 to 85.
Okay.
And then he played for the Buccaneers from 85 to 86, and then the 49ers traded for him.
Right. Okay, I thought he had played for the Bandits there. But he played for the LA Express. But I mean, man, it was a lot of talent came from the USFL. Joe Cribs.
So he was drafted. He was drafted.
What you seeing, Keenan?
It says that he was drafted by Tampa Bay and the Express.
Yeah.
Well, USFL.
Let me see, Chief. I think he did. I think he replaced the Bird. I think he replaced the Bird, or did the Bird?
What I remember was when that 1 year with Tampa, he got his ass whooped, and he wanted out of there quick, and he kind of
Tampa.
Yeah.
Tampa was bad back then.
They were like
cream
the Saints
sickle
back in the day. They had the bat on the heads and stuff.
No, wait a minute. I thought that was New Orleans.
They were just like New Orleans, how bad that was back in the day.
Okay.
That was the one football pimp I rarely use.
Cause Rich McKay's dad was the head coach down there. Oh, John McKay. Man, that joker used to have some press conference, used to crack me up. He said, "What about your team's execution, coach?" He said, "I'm in favor of it."
Yeah. That was so terrible.
He said, and then that joker said, he said something else. He said, we weren't blocking, and we made up for it by not tackling too." I said, man, I mean that joker was something else, man.
That was terrible.
Tampa Bay was bad. Them creamsicles was bad, boy. And poor Doug Williams, he did what he could. Doug Williams did what he could. But yeah, like I said, Red, Herschel Walker, he was the shiznit. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Herschel Walker was it.
I just didn't know he was working all that from his NFL.
Minnesota was like, yeah, don't give me him. And they gave up another
Jimmy Johnson took advantage of it.
So this is what happened. So the USFL was still in existence at that time. So both leagues were up. He got drafted in both leagues. Well, no, the USFL draft was ahead of the NFL draft, right? So he was selected by the Los Angeles Express, and it said the regular NFL draft would not be held until May. So to influence Young's decision, the Express offered an all sports record 10-year, $40 million contract for him to stay with the Express and not choose the NFL over the USFL.
Because
a 10-year, $40 million contract right out of school so that he wouldn't go to the NFL.
And see, the USFL with Donald Trump involved in it, everybody had money over there. And they filed that antitrust lawsuit and only got awarded $1. And the league folded up. The league folded up because they was counting on winning the lawsuit and getting a big payday to keep the league going. But when they filed that lawsuit and didn't get awarded nothing but $1, and see, that's why I ever since then, I said, man, this NFL is a lot more powerful than what we think. Because I would bet you that doggone judge got broke off. Now this just me. It's just me. I don't know. But I said that judge got broke off on that
when Herschel Walker got traded to Minnesota, I was like, what the hell going on?
Mm-hmm.
And Minnesota gave up all those draft picks.
And Dallas just went shot.
Running back. Are you kidding me?
Over a running back.
Well, thing is now, that's when the league, running backs and quarterbacks, they were the ones that were making all the doggone money getting signed out of college. Those two, running backs and quarterbacks.
Herschel Walker was the shit back in the day.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it had to be some really healthy running backs back in them days. Like nobody.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. Red.
How many draft picks Dallas got from that one trade? What, 10? 5?
John, I remember. Let's say I started maybe keeping up 87, 88 sports. I'm 7, 8 years old.
And whoever was the owner at the time, I think was Jerry there yet?
Who
in Dallas? That was his team that they built.
Yeah.
Okay. I think it was either the first year.
He pimped them off of one season.
Right.
Because Herschel. So his first year, Herschel only started 9 games, only got 700 yards. The next year, 800 some yards.
Mm-hmm.
And then in 1988, he rushed for 1,500.
Mm-hmm.
And then he got traded, and he never saw those numbers again.
Right.
Okay. So
how many draft picks? How many draft picks Dallas got from that trade?
About 8. How many, Keelan?
Because I think they built their whole team off that one doggone player.
It was a lot of them.
So it was like, oh my God.
He built all that Super Bowl. He got like Emmitt Smith, a few of them offensive linemen.
Michael Irvin.
Here's the totality of the trade. The Cowboys got Jesse Solomon, David Howard, Isaac Hope, Alex Stewart, Minnesota's first round pick in 90, Minnesota's second round pick in 1990, Minnesota's sixth round pick in 1990, Minnesota's first round pick in 1991, Minnesota's second round pick in 91, Minnesota's first round pick in 92, Minnesota's second round pick in 92, Minnesota's third round pick in 92.
12.
The Vikings got Herschel, Dallas third round pick in 90, San Diego's fifth round pick in 90, Dallas 10th round pick in 90, Dallas third round pick in 91, and the Chargers got running back Darian Nelson.
Make that make sense.
You robbed them. That was a put on my mask, stick it up, robbery.
Hey, man, make that make sense.
Cause see, and look now, 1,500 yards for a running back back then. That was scooting because the NFL. That's all they did was run. And you had defenses back then that were built to stop the doggone run. And man, some of the result of those picks, Emmitt Smith, Russell Maryland,
Darren Woodson, and cornerbacks Clayton Holmes and Kevin Smith.
And Michael Irvin got right?
No, he was already there.
You sure?
Cause and the thing was Dallas was bad.
Yeah,
that was Jimmy Johnson coming. Dallas was bad.
They were bad. It's surprising, John, how many of these teams were sorry when I started watching football, and then I had to go back in the encyclopedia for y'all.
Irvin, Irvin was already there. He was drafted in 88. Run. You heard me, Ron?
Yeah.
Irvin was drafted in 88, so he was already there. That trade took place in 1990.
I told you, Ron. You better listen to Red. Ain't gonna steal you wrong.
Shit.
That's one thing I would say about Red. Red do be remembering stuff from back then. He remember players and everything. He's very accurate.
I'm telling you, man.
That one trade set Dallas off.
You got to be key because the Falcons was so sorry I had to keep up with the other teams.
Well, you hardly saw the Falcons because they had a blackout rule in effect.
Yeah, we've been blacked out.
all you heard was about the other teams.
Yeah, I mean,
But-
look, Red, the only way you would find out about the Falcons would be in the next day Monday's paper.
And that's why I started reading the paper, Chuck. That's the only time I would see about my team.
But you gotta look at it, man. Back then, we were in the same with the 49ers. In that
Yeah,
division.
we were in the NFC West.
Right,
we were in
we
the
were
NFC
in that
West.
division back then. And they
You
used
know,
to
and-
get our
That's why
ass.
I hate it. I still hate the Niners now, but they were like my hated team. Ooh, they were my Saints back in the day. Well,
the Niners
I ain't
and the
gonna lie.
Niners
I didn't hate
and the
Niners.
Rams too.
Right.
And the Rams too. And the
I got
Rams
home.
too.
I got a homeboy right now, a 49er fan. He said, "Run back then, we knew we were gonna get y'all."
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it was just like the Dodgers used to beat up on the Braves all the time.
Right. He was like,
all we had was Dion.
right. He was like, we already told. I would say there were 2 wins right there. I'm
Well,
like,
hey, Ron, you know the most satisfying thing that happened back during those times
what?
was William Andrews running over Ronnie Lott.
Oh, that was
Man, look, that doggone stadium. That was here, wasn't it? I think that was here. I think that was here, but I know everybody that was watching the game. No.
That was in San Francisco.
I think it was in Frisco because that was the only way we were able to watch the game.
Right.
Because the blackout rules were in effect. And I mean, I was over my mom's house, whatever. Man, and see, 330, that Ricky Williams situation,
right,
where Mike Ditka gave away all the picks and everything just to get Ricky Williams. Man, that was bad though. It might not compare to the Herschel Walker trade, but that was one of the dumbest doggone trades.
He believed in.
I love that trade
the running game back then.
I love that one.
Yeah, you're right, Ron. You're absolutely right.
He thought he could have brought Chicago to New Orleans.
He thought he had another Walter Payton.
Right.
He thought he had another Walter Payton because Ricky Williams could run when he was smoking that.
Yeah. Right. But he was like, he did an interview a while back. He was like, I fucked up. He said, I should never gave up all those draft picks.
Oh, I thought you were talking about. Yeah, but hey, and then Master P signed him to a contract.
What? Now, do you blame him? No. Master P was trying to get out of the music business and trying to get into the NFL business.
He signed but Ron, he signed a performance-based contract, a total performance-based contract.
Hey, Richie, John Richie, the one that was stupid for signing that contract.
No, he was stupid for letting Master P represent it.
But that what happened when you coming from the music business and trying to get into the NFL and the pros stuff.
Master P, he was trying all kinds of stuff, man.
He was trying all type of stuff. Back then.
Trying to follow Jay-Z.
But Jay-Z was not around then, but Master P was like, you know what, I'm finna go over here for a little bit. Then if that don't work out, I finna go over here play basketball a little bit. If that don't work out, I finna go into making noodles and stuff over here. So he
so he was trying to launder his way out of rap.
Hey, if you go watch this documentary right now, he will tell you. He said, I told everybody who I signed, music will not be here forever. You need a backup plan.
You definitely need to diversify. You know, you might start out one thing, but branch off into everything.
Right. And he told them he's
Ron. He worth over 200 million.
Yeah.
So he worked whatever he did.
Yeah, well, he did it right.
But he told He told
Can't argue
them.
with him.
He told everybody who he signed. He said, "Y'all need to get a backup plan."
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I don't know
he
what's
said
going on with his son. His son better
his
shut
son
up.
playing. He got a son playing football right now.
I'm talking about the son that he got beef with.
Romeo.
Right.
They
Yeah.
cool. They still.
Oh,
But
I know they better be. My pop's worth 200 million. Oh,
Right.
we gonna be cool, Dad. I ain't got
Right,
no.
but what I'm saying, he told everybody. He
200
said, "Y'all
million,
need
John?
a plan B."
Woo.
He said, "Y'all need a plan B. Music will not be here forever."
All right,
And-
my plan B, whatever you say, Pop, I go give me a regular job.
But his son don't won't listen, right?
Hey,
You cannot make nobody listen.
If I know my parents worth money like that, I'm giving me a regular job. I ain't even why I got to be greedy. It's coming to us anyway.
But Red, you cannot make nobody listen.
Them kids stupid, man.
You said that I did, but they did not want to listen. So
They better be like, hey, John, they better be like Dr. Bus kids. Just shut your mouth and be patient and wait.
Because
That's right.
Go watch Master P documentary, man. And
well, I heard Romeo was going public with some of the beefs.
Right. He said, "I told everybody that I signed back then, y'all better have a plan B."
Yeah. Why in the world would you think that damn music, Master P music wasn't even selling like that? So did they really think it was gonna live?
It was selling.
Live off of No Limit Records.
It was selling back in 1990 and 96,
but he wasn't doing to what the kids think. They can get a piece of the pie. Like y'all better be making y'all own way.
Right.
I would have used that to open my own doors. I wouldn't have used that to just live off of my dad.
I with you, Ed, but
all the money I got, all that money I got from that would have been in a bank, and I'm going to get me a regular job.
But Red, if you got somebody that don't want to listen, you would say, okay.
They raise a lot of these parents just raise these kids to feel entitled, and they think a lot of this shit is cute when they
but that's the problem,
when
Red.
they get older. Ain't gonna be no entitlement. You gonna be.
I know, Red. Back then, I ain't want to listen to my older cousins, my uncles. I was like, y'all don't know what the F y'all talking about. I ain't want to listen to my aunties or nothing back then. So now I wish I could have took that idea now when I got older.
Yeah, it always works like that.
Right. They want to listen. Woman on there, then I'm going to listen to their father back then.
But if I see it, man, I know my dad doing some big stuff, dude. You got to be smart. And you see what's going on.
But actions speak louder than words, right?
They got to be smart and say, okay, I don't need to be greedy. But I know
gentlemen,
be respected, man.
Gentlemen, unfortunately I got some stuff I got to do in the morning early. So
I got to myself. So
yeah, we're gonna have to stop it right here. The train is coming to its final station. And let me see. I think Keely may still be here, and I know Tide is here. But hey, Keely, what you got up this weekend, man? If you can tell us.
I think he's on.
Or is that James?
I think that's James.
James, that's you.
You might be gone too, John.
Somebody might be sleeping.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, Red, you the next one. Cross that top. What you got this weekend? Yeah.
Well, fortunately, fellas, I'll be celebrating my birthday this weekend, so I'm not quite sure.
Happy early birthday, dog.
Thanks. I was gonna wait for y'all to see on my page, but since John asked, I had to tell him. But I'm not quite sure if I'm gonna be on this Saturday, but I know the show's still Red and Real Sports Show Saturdays at 11 a.m. YouTube, Facebook. If I am, if I'm not, feel free to tune in. Like I say, thanks for the birthday wishes, fellas. Like I say, go Hawks, go Lakers, and y'all see me around on my page.
All right. What about you, Ron? Now, Ron, this looks like the first time you done hung around to the end of the show.
Yeah.
It been a minute though, John.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, it's been a minute.
but we got the big game show tomorrow, and they come on at 10 tomorrow. So we want
send me a shout out. I might join. Wait a minute, 10 a.m. or 10 p.m.
10 a.m.
Oh, hey, out early in the morning.
So
send him the Ron, send the link. You send when you be trying to get me on your show.
Yeah,
you will send me a copy of the invitation with no link to it.
I got it.
Right.
So send the link.
All right.
I'm gonna start inboxing you because you be sending me all the shows, but no link.
I got you. Just tell me, right? Be like, hey, I'm gonna get on this week.
Right. I'm gonna start going when you send me the show and I see the show. I'm gonna inbox you to send me the link.
All right.
Yeah, I gotta get up. I gotta get up early because man, one of these days I gotta get up early and get on C-Dub's show because they be on 8:30 in the morning.
That's what we're doing tomorrow.
Oh, at 10 o'clock?
Yeah. That's what we're doing.
Okay. All right. I let me see what time it 1:45. Yeah, I might be. Yeah. See, I be man. Look at him. I know right now. If I was trying to go to bed, I probably wouldn't get but 2 hours sleep and be up from 4 o'clock all the way to 10 and be sleeping when the show come on.
That's we doing C-Dub show tomorrow. Tuesday we doing Talk Your Ish. From 8 p.m. to 9. Yeah, 8 p.m. to 9. And we're going to be talking about everything on Talk Your Ish. We're going to be talking about different teams, basketball, football, free agents, everything. So, y'all come with it.
Trying to copy my show then.
No, we better than your show. I just messing with you, man. You know what I mean?
Damn, Ron.
You duck these shots thrown by Rose.
You know, man, you don't have that back and forth, man.
I know, I'm just messing. I know.
But no, they come on the show, be in the comments, have fun. I mean, life too short to be fussing with everybody all the time. And
I gotta get on that talk to that chick, man. I ain't messed with her in a minute.
I say this every week. Talk to your family members. Check up on them. Never know what a person going through behind closed doors. Your mind is precious. I mean, people go through a lot today. So check on your family members and your friends. Yeah.
All right. And Tidy, as always, appreciate you coming through. Like I said last night, appreciate you letting me come play in the yard. And what you got going on, boss?
Not much for me on the agenda, man. Probably trying to catch up on some work around the house and just regular work. And just play it by ear. As always, John, thank you for having me, man. I always enjoy it. Appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And
all right, fellas.
To all of the people who were in the comments, old Tonyo, the sniper, doggone weed eater, 3 Dirty, Millie Mills, Travis Henry, Ray Ellison. Wait a minute. Did Miss B come through tonight? She didn't come through tonight. I'm strapped up. 24 came through. MW, the franchise player. Hey, and Low Country came through. And go ahead, Ron.
And maybe this weekend or tomorrow it will be Pops and the Henry brothers. And I will be on there. So
okay,
this weekend or Not this Thursday or next Thursday. So
Okay.
look out for that. So
All right. And like I said, to everybody in the chat, everybody who tuned in, peeped in, as well as the panel tonight, everybody's going to get an A, even though, well, I'll take an F just to make sure the curve is straight. But everybody else will get A, you know, for the efforts tonight, and I appreciate it because I can't do it by myself. I can only do it because y'all help us do it. And man, we really had some eyes on us tonight. I think I had about 25, 30 folk in here tonight. We got some people that's working at night. Whoa. Hey, that's why I set this up round about this time of night, because this is an underserved market. The people who at UPS, the people at the post office, the people working out there in the street, and folk working in the restaurants and the Waffle House and all those other places. They want to talk some football. They want to see some people talk about football this time of night. Because see, sometimes them Atlanta Falcons won't let you sleep. They have you all tore up, and you got to say something about it. This is the spot where you can come and do so. Ron, appreciate it. Whoever that is up there in the dog, I don't know who you are because I don't know what name. I'm gonna start getting these folk names. At any rate, bye.
bye.